All right. What's up, everybody? Steven here, the Horror Freak 85, here with Echo. How's it going tonight?
Other than a little pain, all okay.
What was it? Pet Cemetery? It was like No Brain, No Pain, the second one or whatever with the drill.
Oh god.
No
I tried
brain,
to black that movie out.
no brain, no pain. It's like, yeah, no brain watching it.
That's probably why I blacked it out.
Yeah. I think it was Pet Cemetery too, wasn't it? Where he said that? Or am I thinking another movie?
The only one I remember the drill in the brain was Frankenhooker.
Oh, okay. I don't think it was that.
Every time I needed an idea or something.
Mm. Or what else I'm thinking of? But yeah, that's probably it. But either way, whatever. So yeah, I don't know. Unfortunately, not going to be able to stream this on Facebook like usual because I'm in Facebook jail.
What
I
happened
have,
there?
I have no idea if someone reported me for some bullshit reason or what happened because I didn't post anything bad, so I can't do any instant messages, posts, likes, nothing, share. Apparently, can't even go into my group and as long as I'm in Facebook jail. I don't know.
Did I
So
tell you how long?
3 days. So I figured it was this weekend, and everybody's like, "Happy birthday!" And I'm getting instant message. I'm like, I can't reply. It's like unless I have their number.
While you're in there, don't drop the soap.
Yeah, soap on a rope. But it's just so stupid, though. I'm like, why? And I hope it doesn't happen like after the 3 days. I hope it's just temporary. But apparently, all of the stuff of the show that was connected to it, all of those posts have been deleted. I don't know why. So, like the Mark Polonia show. Well, I mean, I still have it on YouTube, but on Facebook, it's not there. So I don't know. But
maybe it was something in one of them.
But why would it delete every single one? So I don't understand.
And why wouldn't they? Yeah, and why wouldn't they say anything? So
and they didn't tell me what it was. It just said went against community standards or something. But how am I supposed to know what I did if you don't tell me? Because what if I do it again later? Like, but
that's so true.
Oh well. So, but yeah, in a few minutes, Mary Alice Reisner should be here. She was in Gothic Harvest, Night of the Wild. Let's see. Oh, do I have a message? Let me see. Oh, no, that's just a pop up there. Oh, she said her computer's making her download Chrome.
Oh.
Okay.
Okay.
Technical difficulties. Okay. Well, that's weird. We didn't have any difficulties when we did the test, but okay.
Things change.
Oh, she's going to do it from her phone. Okay, no problem.
Okay, that's probably why.
Maybe she did it from the phone on the test. I don't know, but that's okay. Well, at least she let me know and not just like
oh, what's going on?
What's vanishing? Yeah, or else not show up or anything like that. So, but yeah, what else was I saying? She did an episode. Hey, Steven. Yeah, I got when you messaged me the other day. I think it was yesterday or whatever about being able to post there. I couldn't reply back to you because I'm in Facebook jail. No idea why. Can't instant message, do anything. So I wasn't ignoring you. I just couldn't reply. So
yeah, he's a bad boy. He's a jailbird.
Apparently, I don't know. I broke out just to do this show, and then
he's gonna come out. He's gonna have the black teardrop and stuff. Like, I need a hard time, man. Don't mess with me.
Yeah, I should have driven like a little teardrop down. Pin your post. Yeah, if you could share it, that'd be great. Appreciate it. Yeah, House on Sorority Row, that was a good one. So I was about to say that one. So yeah, she's done a few horror films there and some other stuff. And I should just bring up her IMDb. She had a very small part in the Disney's The Secrets of Sulphur Springs.
The Domestics, Rodeo and Juliet.
Yep, thank you.
Yeah, happy birthday, man.
Series and eventual Scream Queen. Oh yeah, Steve's saying Mary is a Scream Queen. Yep, for sure. Hopefully she'll be.
Oh yeah, she did Scream Queens.
Speaking of Scream Queen, yeah, she was on the premiere of that.
Speaking of Scream Queen, hey, Okay. Wild Eye is going to be releasing this movie called Scream Queen. It's supposed to be this rare, Linnea Quigley movie, directed by Brad Skies.
Hmm.
Well, I'm looking this up because I'm looking at the pre-order on Amazon. You know who it lists as the editor?
Who?
Someone we know, Mark Polonia.
Nice. Oh, and it looks
Well,
like she.
when you look at his IMDb, it doesn't list him.
Ah, that's interesting. Hello, hello.
Hi.
Hello.
So much for waiting for me. I'm sorry about those technical difficulties.
No, that's all right. When we did the test, did you do it on your phone or computer or
I
whatever?
did do it on my phone, and I was going to try to do it from the computer this time. And then when I opened up the link, it was like, please download
No Chrome.
something
Yeah.
else. And I was, oh, and that was taking forever. So we're doing the phone.
It's like, no, damn Chrome, whatever. No, but you're fine. I mean, we can hear you, see you. It's all good. So it works.
Perfect.
So welcome.
Thank you. So happy to be here.
So how have you been this week?
It has been a long week for sure, but powering through it. Happy for the weekend.
So we got Stephen Chang in here. He was saying how he could see you as a Scream Queen.
I appreciate you saying that. Hi, it's nice to meet you, Stephen.
Let's see who else in here. Let's see. Got my mom in here was saying happy birthday. Let's see. Who else? But yeah, I'll let you know as people pop in and any questions that'll pop up, we'll put them up for you. So.
Well, thank you.
Let's see. Or a final girl, he was saying. There we go.
You know, that is actually the goal. One day I would love to have a bigger role in a final girl style movie because I do love them. And I think that was so exciting.
Be the final girl that kicks the villain's butt.
Yeah. You know, it's really funny. My family and I have this ongoing joke about all the horror films that I do because I have died in quite a few of them. It's whether or not I'm going to survive or not. So I think it would be really fun one day to do one where I do survive and not only just survive, kick the crap out of the guy who's bad.
Kind of like You're Next or something along those lines.
Yes, very much like You're Next. Something really badass where she's just like completely in control and can fight. I would love that.
I like the take of her, the final girl in H2O, Jamie Lee Curtis, where she just turns around and like she's got the axe. She's like, Michael.
She is the perfect person for that, honestly. She's such a sweet person inside and out. I worked with her on Scream Queens, and so that was a really rewarding moment for sure in my career, is to meet Jamie Lee Curtis, like the final girl.
Yeah.
When absolutely. I saw that H2O in the theater and they got to the end of that movie when she cut his head off, they got quiet for maybe a split second, and all of a sudden everybody started standing up and just was clapping like, yes.
What a fun experience.
Yeah, it was like, whoa. It's like, that's the one thing you used to say in all these movies. Why don't you just cut his head off? Just cut his head off. And finally it happened. It's like, about damn time someone did it.
About time.
That's what we've been waiting for. Just head flying.
Survive that.
Yeah. So can you tell us like where you're from and when you started acting? Who was your inspiration? What kind of movies did you watch growing up?
So I am actually originally from a very small town in South Louisiana called Galliano. And I have always dreamed of being an actress ever since I was little. I consider myself very lucky because I don't think everybody gets that experience in their life where they know from a very young age what they want to do and follow that dream through. So I want to say I was about 9 years old when I watched The Phantom of the Opera for the first time. And
which
that
one?
movie, the one with Emmy Rossum and Gerard Butler, the real film. And I loved it so much. It was like a soul awakening moment for me. I said, I want to do that. How do I do something like that? And it took a little while for me to figure out the right path to start that course of action. But around 15, I started doing acting classes. And I was able to secure an agent through those classes. And I've just been auditioning and working real hard ever since.
I've heard of these acting classes, but never known what exactly do they do them. So what exactly do they do in acting classes?
So I can't speak for every acting class, obviously, but my acting school that sadly doesn't exist anymore because of COVID, it was called Launch, and it was kind of like they did a little bit of everything. So they had acting classes, they had modeling classes, they did some singing classes. It was just kind of a very well-rounded acting or entertainment industry education. And I'm so fortunate to have found them because, like I said, not every place is like that. Some acting class, it's somebody who knows what they're doing, and you show up and they'll give you a scene and you work on the scene, memorize that, and can practice in class. But really the experience that I had at launch was just so fulfilling, and I feel forever grateful for all of the knowledge that they were able to give me, because I learned everything that I know about the film industry from them and made lots of friends. I went to classes there for, what's the math on that? From when I was 15 until how old was I in 2020? I don't know. A long time. I went to classes there a long time. And it was basically like a second home for a while.
So besides the acting class, so you said you were a teen doing that. So in school, did you do plays or community theater as well, I assume?
Yes. I did do a little bit of community theater. And I was in musicals and plays when I was in high school for sure. And that, I love musical theater and I love live theater. So that was another thing that just made me really know that this is what I want to do. And then when I started college, I studied film there, and I did participate in one play, and that was sadly, the last show that I've done, live show. But I never say never. There might be some more of that coming in the future, maybe.
Okay.
But yeah, acting classes, live theater through high school, a little bit in college, and then I think around the time I was 19 is when I booked my first film. And from then on, it was just, I only want to do this. I'm so focused on film, television, all that fun stuff.
Like it was, yeah, like it was your calling.
Oh.
So sorry about that. My dad called me.
Yeah. So it's like your calling to be an actress.
Basically, my mom has this fun story that she likes to tell about me where when she enrolled me in dance classes when I was little, I hated going to rehearsal. And she's like, I don't understand. Why do you give me so much flack every time I'm going to bring you to rehearsal? You love to dance. You love to perform. And I said, I just want to be on the big stage. I had no interest in being, rehearsing or anything like that. I just wanted to be on stage and perform. So I think that bug has always been inside of me.
What was the first film that you worked on, or short film or first major project?
I was just thinking about this. The first movie I ever did, it was called Proof of the Devil 2. And it was a horror film. And I was so excited to work on it. We had such a great time. It was an independent, lower budget movie. And it was the sequel to a film they hadn't released yet. So they had filmed the first one, and I guess they were so confident in it that they just started to film the second one before they released the first one. Mm-hmm. And I don't think the first one did well enough for them to release the second one. So the first movie I ever did will probably never get seen.
Okay. Yeah, because I saw that you did that or was listed on your IMDb, but I couldn't track it down. I was like, okay, well.
Well, the thing is, you never know, because Renee Zellweger and Matthew Broderick, was it?
McConaughey.
They did a Texas Chainsaw Massacre movie that sat on the shelf for years and years, and it was like, it's not going to see the light of day. And then one day, guess what's coming out?
But they finally found the ability to bring it out, I guess. Well, that was 9 years ago. So if it will come out, I don't know what it will look like, and I'm not sure that I want. We had so much fun. I love those guys that I made it with, but 9 years ago, I don't know if I was as great an actress. First ever film. We'll see. Maybe it'll come out.
Yeah. Maybe one day you'll just be flipping through Tubi. Proof of the Devil 2. Okay.
I would hope that they would let me know.
Yeah.
I would hope.
I think they would. Yeah.
But maybe.
Yeah.
It's a possibility.
Well, good luck on that,
You never know.
So first thing that has come out then that you did.
I think the first thing that came out was Scream Queens.
Okay.
Yeah, that was such a different. It was the second thing I ever filmed, but the first thing to ever come out, and that was so exciting for me. It went from, like I said, Proof of the Devil 2 was an independent film. We filmed it with not a lot of money. We did it in like 2 weeks. To go from doing that, which was amazing, and I loved every minute, to doing Scream Queens for Fox that had all this money and had all of these A-list celebrities playing all of these roles. I was like, I feel like an imposter here. Mm-hmm. And the difference in, just treatment and not treatment, but it's, you get your own. I got my own trailer for the first time. Like, right. Wow, what is this? I get a trailer. I'm good with just a chair. And that was because it was the pilot episode. I wasn't aware at the time, but they decided to use one of the stills the still was of me, Abigail Breslin, and then my other co-star. And they used that in a lot of the promo because the scene that I was in was pretty pivotal to the storyline. So that was such a shocker experience for me, is not only to work with those people and have that incredible experience, but also see my picture on the news and all over the place and see myself in the trailer. I'm pretty proud of that. But yeah, it was a lot of fun.
So how did you get involved in that? Did you have a representative agent or just open audition, or how did you do that?
In Scream Queens?
Yeah.
I believe it was my agent who got me the audition, and that was just through because it was filming in New Orleans, where I live right now. Mm-hmm. And it was a local casting director that was doing some of the roles. Once they had their main cast set, they came here and cast a lot of local Southeast actors. And so that was with Megan Lewis, a local casting director. Her and Ryan Murphy are kind of really close. Every time he has a new show that comes down here, she's usually the one that's getting to cast it. And yeah, it was a live audition. I think it might have been, that's not true. I was going to say, I think it might have been my first live audition, but that's not true. It was a live audition. I just went in, it was short and sweet, so fun. And then I think I auditioned for the show a second time, actually. And so I was like, oh, I guess I didn't get that first role. And then after I went to that second audition for a different episode, I got the call that I booked the role, but I didn't know which one. I just assumed it was the second one because I hadn't heard anything about the first. And so when I showed up, I was like, what role am I even playing? I'm not sure. I have more than one impending here. Mm-hmm. So yeah, that was through my agent and a local casting director.
So, not a bad break for first one there. That's pretty nice.
I don't think I expected it to be as big of a show as it was. I think I was just, when you get an audition, they don't always give you a ton of information about the role you're reading for or who's attached to the project. They'll normally say, like, this is the director, this is the writer, this is the casting director, but you'll only see the role you're reading for and maybe a few of other roles that they're releasing in that breakdown, but you don't know sometimes who is playing what. Mm-hmm. So when I was reading for it, I had no idea what I was getting myself into, but I'm super grateful because it was a really fun time.
So, before I ask my next question, anything echo before I?
Well, I noticed you were in the show Interview with the Vampire. Oh, Interviews Ava. I always get the name messed up.
Interview with the Vampire?
What is, it's such a, it is, it's a well-known book. Awesome book, by the way. Better than the movie. What was that experience like, being involved in such a huge franchise in terms of books?
That experience might have been my favorite that I have done so far, because I believe it was my first ever period piece. My role took place in the 1920s. And so the book the book franchise is huge. I've seen the movie. I love the movie. Anne Rice had actually, she was attached to the project until she passed away right before they started filming. So it felt very special, especially after that, to be a part of such an amazing project. And going to the fitting was so fun, getting to wear all of the period piece clothing and then getting my hair and makeup done that way. But the best part was it was an outdoor location. So they shut down a street somewhere in the French Quarter, and then they took they made sure there were no cars parked there, and then they brought in these all old, authentic cars and street carts, and every single person was in costume, and they had a fog machine going. So when the base camp was a separate location from where actual set was, and so when we drove up in the van and they opened the door, I looked. Literally like I was transported into a different world. It was crazy, and I forever be grateful for that, just because everybody working with was just so nice, so genuine, so helpful, and you could tell everybody there was really passionate about the story that we were trying to tell. And that to me was my favorite. It was literally like I stepped back in time, and they did. I have to give them props. They did such a good job. The show looks amazing.
Yeah, I think the first season just came out like within the last couple weeks on DVD and Blu-ray, I believe. Or I know DVD. I don't know if it was on Blu-ray.
I just saw that. I think I just saw that recently somewhere. Just can't recall where.
And I think the other one was that Witches of Mayfair. So I guess like
because she
like
did like two. Did you ever have a chance to meet her?
Sorry, who?
Did you ever have a chance to meet Anne Rice?
I did not. She passed away, I think, right before they started filming. So I wasn't cast until a few days before my episode was shooting. So she thinks she'd been passed away for a few months before I got the opportunity to work on that. So it was.
Did you read the book prior?
I did not. I think if I would have had more time, I might have. But it was, I just didn't know that I actually had not auditioned for the show yet. I think it was in episode 3 or 4. I'm not completely sure.
Episode 4, according to IMDb.
Yeah, since I hadn't read, it had been filming for a few episodes. I was under the impression that I wasn't going to get an audition for this one. I said, I guess they don't have a spot for me. So when I did get the audition, and it was a very fast turnaround, I think I had maybe 24 hours to turn the audition in. And between the time of turning that in, booking the role, and filming, there was not enough time for me to read the book. I'm so sad about it.
That first book, I didn't care that much for the first book. I've only read the first 3 books, and the third book, Queen of the Dam, I love compared to the first 2, because the second book is pretty much just the same as the first book, but from Lestat's point of view, and it's just like, oh, so that's why they call him the Brat Prince.
Okay, makes sense.
Because basically it's him going, I don't like that book. Lewis made me look bad, so I'm gonna make someone write a book about me that makes me look good.
It's definitely on my list. I'm from New Orleans, so I feel like I have to read the books because they are just such, I mean, I hear really incredible works of art, and they've inspired a movie and television series, and then a spinoff of the Mayfair Witches as well. So I definitely need to.
Another good book series, the Sookie Stackhouse that they did True Blood on. The books are totally different from the TV show. The books are like so much different. They really changed it for the show.
That happens so often.
So,
and I love.
Yeah, Steven's talking about you on NCIS
New Orleans. Yeah, I was about to.
Love the whole franchise, by the way. Although I did get mad when they, got rid of Gibbs. I did get mad.
Yes.
Didn't like when they got rid of NCIS, New Orleans, all Los Angeles. Get a little upset.
That was a fun show. It really was. That was filming here for, forget how many seasons the show was, but for quite some time. It was almost like, are you really a New Orleans actor if you haven't been on NCIS New Orleans? So that was really so much fun. And honestly really intimidating. The role that I had on that show was just me. No scene partner. I'm just talking into the camera. I played a lottery host and I was reading off the lottery numbers. And so that was just by far the most intimidating filming experience I've had, because normally when you have a scene partner, you know your lines, you feed off of each other. But when you have to just stand there and actually look at the camera and talk directly into it, and then you just see behind the 100 people all staring at you, hoping you get your lines right. And they've changed my lines, 12 times that day. It was
That would be frightening.
Yeah. I came in, I'm always incredibly prepared when I book a role. I'm memorized to a T, and that's a thing with television that you just have to be able to roll with the punches. Is day of, they're like, hey, here's some new pages. We have rewritten this scene again. Here are some more new pages. And I think the last rewrite of my lines, I got 10 minutes before they were rolling the cameras and saying, let's go. And I remember they're shaking. I have the paper. I'm trying to learn my lines, and they're fixing my hair, and somebody's touching up my makeup, and they're messing with my microphone. I have 3 people touching me, all asking me questions. I was like, guys, can I please learn this? They just handed this to me. So it was really scary.
It's like, thank you for making me look good, but please, thank you.
Yeah, thank you. I appreciate it. I'm so happy to be here. Please, I don't want to look like an idiot. I don't want to let you down. I need to learn these. But still,
especially such a big franchise like NCIS. It's just a huge franchise. That's got to be a bit intimidating to be, appearing on such a show that's part of such a big franchise.
Right.
For I don't know how many years, over 10 years now.
Oh, for sure. It just that in itself, to know you're going to be a part of a franchise like that is intimidating, and then rolling with the punches of everything changing every few minutes is very scary. But I made it through.
Well, if you're aware that they're doing one in Australia, is it?
Are they?
They have a new one. They're going to do in some other country. So if you're in that country, you can do that in NCIS.
I'd be willing to go to Australia to do another NCIS.
Oh, when they did NCIS
so
Hawaii, NCIS Hawaii, you're like, well, I can spend some time in Hawaii.
Of course.
Oh, that'd be nice. I'll just go to Hawaii, film a TV show. It's like a vacation and work at the same time, just say.
I just did a Europe trip for 2 months, and I started off in Croatia. And we visited Split and Dubrovnik, which are 2 cities that a lot of Game of Thrones was filmed in.
Nope.
And so that, for me, was walking around seeing all of the locations where they filmed incredibly famous scenes. And you would hear tour guides bringing groups through, explaining, like, this is the place where they filmed, like, they threw the dung on Joffrey's face, or they shut down this whole street so that Cersei could do the Walk of Shame. So, wow, I think that's a new goal for myself, is to film something out of the country, like in Croatia or New Zealand or something like that.
Maybe the second season of House of Dragons. That'd be cool.
House of the Dragon.
It's sort of the same. It just prior is all.
That would be more than a dream. I don't even have words to describe how incredible that would be. I loved that show. Did you watch the House of the Dragon?
I got to watch the last 1 or 2 episodes. I watch so much as it is. It's hard to keep up with everything, but
I seen one of those actors. They had that guy called Mountain, and I got to see one of the actors, because one of the actors does weightlifting, half Thor or something like that. And by the way, that ain't half Thor. That's 2 Thors. That man is bigger than a mountain.
He is large.
He had Bell's palsy too.
I did not know that.
Because at one point something was wrong, so you can kind of for a while there you can see in his face where it's like kind of making that thing. But I think it's gotten better.
Okay.
But still, that's they call him half Thor. Everyone pronounces it as half Thor. It's like, that's not half Thor. That's 2 or 3 Thors. That's a big man.
I watched all of House of the Dragon, but I did not watch all of Game of Thrones.
Like, it was good, but the way they ended it, I'm just like, really? After all those years, that's how they ended it. But
I did watch the finale, I will admit. I want to say I stopped watching around season 3 or season 4, right after Joffrey was killed.
Did they say it got the
spoiler, but it's been out anyway.
Got the writer upset or something, the way they ended it or something? The writer? Something about him.
I don't know.
Oh, the author.
Yeah.
George R. R.
Oh,
Martin. I do think that he said something along the lines of, because the last books were not.
aren't out. Yeah.
Yeah, they just kind of had to make it up. They didn't have any more content to go off of, and they made it up. And I think he said that he would not end it that way.
They should have just asked him. They should have had him help write the last episode or something. Like,
He's very involved in House of the Dragon, which I think is why.
that's probably because of that. And now he's like, nope, not gonna mess it up now. Not gonna.
You're not doing this to me twice. Though I think he has a lot of fans who would appreciate him working on the last Game of Thrones books.
Amy said, would you like to film on movies or commercials? I don't know. Have you done commercials?
I have done commercials before. I did a National Popeyes commercial, I think would be the biggest one. And that was fun. It's just very fast work. You know, we filmed for one day and it was a 12-hour day. We got it out. What's so funny about commercials is how they have multiple different versions of the scripts. They have, this is what we're trying to get across, but we don't know exactly what we want you to say. So they have multiple different lines for you to say. And it was really fun. It's very fast. You get paid really well to do something like that. So I think I would do both. I enjoy doing
free lunch for the day. Popeyes free lunch.
Yeah. Just remember, Popeyes is what was it? What does the slogan used to be? Louisiana Fast or something like that. Was that them? Or someone had that slogan.
I know their jingle on the commercials is "Love that chicken,
Chicken.
from Popeyes."
Yeah.
Then who had that one? Someone had that slogan.
I don't.
Too many slogans out there.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I know that Popeyes is love that chicken. I know that. Yeah.
Yeah, love that chicken. Yes.
But I don't know who has that other one. But
It was a Louisiana cooking. Somewhere I heard it.
I'm not sure.
it's like Google it. I don't know. hey, Steven, you like to look stuff up. If you want to look that up for us. No, like what was it last week or the week before? Like he was looking stuff up or like stuff that we didn't know. He was like, "Yeah, this is such and such." He's like our little encyclopedia promoter. I'm sure he'd love to promote you sometime too. So, but yeah,
That's
we
so
appreciate
awesome of him. Oh my goodness.
yeah, Steven's cool. So
It was weird 'cause I'm a bit of a gamer. This is game Red Dead Redemption 2, where they based a place in it called Saint Denis on Louisiana.
Oh.
On New Orleans, and people have literally gone and looked at the game. Okay, we got to go find this in New Orleans. So like these posts are like about 2.5 feet tall. They got horses on the head, on the top of them, and they found those. They found the mansions. They're literally like, "Oh, we got to go to New Orleans and find all this stuff."
I mean, if that's the reason that you decide to visit the city, okay.
Because people do that though a lot. They hunt down movie locations and stuff. And all
that was one of the biggest reasons that people visit Croatia, I think, or it definitely brought in a lot of tourism for them. So that would make sense that people would want to visit New Orleans for that reason, especially.
And there's a lot of movie locations in New Orleans when you think about all the stuff that's filmed there, the TV shows and the movies are like, oh, I got to go down there and see that. How many of them have you had the chance to see and all?
I'm sorry, what do you mean?
Like these the actual locations of places that were filmed at.
I don't know. I can't be completely sure how many I've seen, but I mean, I've lived here I moved here, I guess 10 years now. I moved here in 2013, and I've probably been to quite a lot that I was just unaware of. But the city is booming. Well, not at the moment. There is a strike going on still, but usually when it's not COVID and there's no strike going on, it's booming. We have so many films filming here, so I think it would be difficult to know all of the locations.
Yeah,
but
be a beautiful place to shoot at. A lot of, even like we talked about Interview with a Vampire, because that kind of, look at the pictures and videos I've seen of the place. It kind of does look old in some areas. A lot of the old stuff that's there.
The city is very old. We have so much original architecture. It's, whenever I visit other places, sometimes I'm like, oh, this kind of looks the same, or it's not that unique. And I forget how much of a unique city New Orleans is. So it makes complete sense to me that that productions want to come and film here. because it's so rich in architecture and food and the environment. The people are great. So yeah, it makes complete sense to me. Why wouldn't you want to come film something in New Orleans? It's amazing here.
Yeah, go around Mardi Gras, have a good time, maybe get some filming done.
Don't come around Mardi Gras. I do think everyone should experience Mardi Gras in their life, but I personally am not a fan of Mardi Gras. It's so busy. The streets, I live in an area, they call it the box. It kind of, around parade season, they shut down a bunch of streets to allow for the parade to pass, and you're stuck. You can't really get out. So the city is always so full of people. All of the streets get shut down. It's a bit of a mess, and that, to me, makes me really anxious. But some people love it. Some people who live here, they live and breathe Mardi Gras. My uncle is one of them. He comes in from Texas every single year to visit, and he goes to every single parade, stakes his spot. So it just depends on what kind of events you like. Yeah. And do you think everyone should experience it?
Yeah. My dad spent a little over a year down there when he was in the Navy. There was a shipyard. They were cutting his ship in half and adding to it. He came back with the Mardi Gras mask, which, by the way, are beautiful. Mm-hmm. By the way, absolutely beautiful. And a whole bunch of beads.
Yep.
And then I found out how you got them. And he's like, hand me these beads. Ooh.
That's kind of, I would say, maybe the number one souvenir that people take home or should take home is the Mardi Gras beads. Because
but I'd rather take the masks because those masks are absolutely stunningly beautiful.
You should take both. Take all.
Take it all. I want it all.
Go home with you.
Yeah, Steven was asking, do you have a favorite horror movie?
Yes, I do. I would say it changes. Right now, I saw Barbarian. Did you guys get the chance to see Barbarian?
I haven't seen it yet.
Listen, I read a lot. Reading is one of my biggest hobbies, and I read a lot of scripts because that's my job. So I'm pretty good at predicting the ending of movies a lot. Mm-hmm. And what I loved about Barbarian was I, in a million years, could not have predicted what that movie was actually about. And that, to me, made it my favorite. I left the theater mind blown, and I have literally never stopped thinking about it. Mm-hmm. So if you haven't seen Barbarian,
see Barbarian. Yeah.
Well, okay, here's one for you. Okay, we'll get into that time of year. We'll get into spooky season. Mm-hmm. What is your go-to movie for Halloween? If you had a choice of one.
It's Hocus Pocus.
Oh, I finally watched that a few months ago. I did a live stream with somebody. I watched on to the both of them. Okay, second one's okay, but I love that first one. Walked away like, why did I wait so long to see that movie?
Yeah,
that is a really good movie.
Yes.
But what if Disney came to you? Because we got Hocus Pocus 3 they've been talking about.
Are they going to do Hocus Pocus 3?
I think I've been hearing about it. If they offered you that, would you jump at a chance to be in a Hocus Pocus movie?
Of course. Yeah. I did. I worked with Disney for Sulphur Springs.
Yeah.
And Secrets of Sulphur Springs. And that was amazing. I felt like a celebrity. They are so good to you. So absolutely. One, Hocus Pocus. Yes. I have watched that movie so many times. My go-to Halloween. It's my favorite. And then just to work with Disney again, of course. That movie, or the franchise, I guess now, has such a big following. I don't think I'm unique in saying that Hocus Pocus is my go-to Halloween movie. I think it's a lot of people's because it's just so good. It just brings up such nostalgia.
Oh yeah. But here's a harder question for Halloween. Favorite Halloween candy or treat?
Oh, that's a really good question. I think I'm gonna get a little bit of hate for this, but I am a fan of candy corn.
Yes, somebody.
Yes.
It's so good.
No, everybody but me likes it. I've never heard anybody say, okay, my late father liked it, but everyone else has been like, oh, we don't like it. So finally, someone other than me likes it. Yes.
Okay, weird question. Do you bite it off by color or eat the whole thing?
I eat the whole thing.
That's
I'll eat a whole handful of them. I'll just pop.
Well, that too, yeah.
Yeah.
I used to sometimes just bite the orange off and have it as white and be like, yeah. Well, when I was real younger, not
Make fangs out of them. You can make
make a
fangs out of
vampire
them.
fangs.
That's fun.
And then
Yeah,
the pumpkin ones
we
they
got
have,
Pat
like bite off
in
the
the
green.
in the chat doesn't like it, but because of my dad, I absolutely he'd get it, and I would eat it, and became a fan. It's a favorite. Even those little pumpkin ones.
I get why people might not like it. I understand. It is very much an acquired taste and an acquired texture.
It is. Yeah.
I've just been eating them since I was a kid, so it just reminds me of when I was a kid. I will never not like them, but I get it. I do understand. Maybe if you didn't try it until you were an adult, why that might be.
Hey, Smarties is good too, Steven. Smarties.
Yeah, I like Smarties. I'm not a huge candy person, but I do. If I'm gonna do candy, I'm probably gonna do something more chocolate related. But if we were talking about Halloween treats, it's candy corn. But just in general, I really enjoy Twix.
Mm-hmm.
Those are so tasty.
Oh yeah.
What about you guys? What are y'all's favorites?
Well, if we go chocolate, I like Snickers. I like the almond Snickers too.
Three Musketeers.
Yeah, Three Musketeers is good.
Good
Peanut
choice.
butter cups.
Yeah, it used to be Three Musketeers, and in high school, my breakfast, when we go to school, I get breakfast, orange juice, a donut, and 9th Avenue. I go, that's the breakfast of champions in high school.
Oh, champions. There you go.
Oh, Heath bars. Can't forget about that. Chocolate.
But it got so much because we had a little window in my high school. I'd walk up to it, and they'd go, all right. And they'd turn around and just would be like, boom, just give us the money. Here it is. They knew what I wanted. It's like, I got you trained.
You're a regular at this point. I don't even have to ask you what you want. Here, just have it.
There you go. So good stuff. Yeah.
Somebody said, I think I saw it pop up. Somebody said they like
Frozen Mounds. Yeah, that was Cheetah there.
Hi, Cheetah. Frozen Mounds. I don't know. I haven't had those. Have to give it a shot.
Steven's talking Butterfingers is another good one.
Now, it's not Halloween candy. It's only out during Easter, but the Cadbury eggs.
Oh, wait a minute.
Yes.
I've had one of those sitting in my fridge for 2 years now. I might need to throw that thing out.
Might? I don't. Probably.
2 years? Yeah. I like the day after Easter when everything goes like 50% off, and then I bought like 4 cartons of like 12 of them or whatever. So I had almost like 100 of them. I had it for like super cheap. I'm like, yep, I freeze them, and they're so good.
You're always
so lucky in that, Steven, because that's not my experience, at least not anymore. The past 2 years, they stopped selling Easter, Halloween, whatever holiday candy the day before the actual holiday. Because I remember trying to go buy, I think, Halloween candy on Halloween day 2 years ago, and there was none to be found. I think it caught on that people like to go and buy it all, on sale or half price or whatever it is.
Yeah.
And they are like, no, we don't want to do that.
Do you know what a trunk or treat is?
A what?
Trunk or treat.
I can't say that I do.
It's like you give out candy, but you have the cars and stuff and all. And I've been part of that for the last few years. We have to buy a ton of candy. Mm-hmm. And even then, we're running out before it's even halfway done. And someone's like, run to the store. So it's people like us that are buying all the candy because we're running out of it. So we got to run to the store. And
okay. Yeah, I do. I'm in a Rocky Horror Picture Show Shadow Cast in New Orleans. And I believe it was the first. So 2 Halloweens ago, I believe Halloween of 2021. Yes. Is the time I'm talking about where we last minute we're trying to buy candy because there's a certain part of the show where nothing's really happening and we're really bored. So we throw candy at the audience. It's the dinner scene.
Yeah.
And that was when I could not find any to save my life. So
you know that play, not the movie, but the play turns 50 this year.
Really?
19. I saw people putting things going, happy 50th anniversary. I'm like, that movie's 50. And then I looked it up and it's like, no, 1973, the music of the play. It's like, oh, wow.
Yeah.
50. Damn.
50 years of Rocky Horror. Amazing. I love that movie so much.
Have you had a chance to meet Tim Curry?
I wish.
I met him at MegaCon. I'm so glad I finally met him at MegaCon. He was really cool. So I had a It shirt on, and it said, what was it? Aren't you gonna say hello? And he saw the shirt. He's like, I like your shirt, because he had his stroke and now he doesn't really do any cons. He does like online stuff, and I could tell he was tired. I kind of felt bad for him, like, man, all these people here to see him, and he seemed. I mean, he was nice, and glad to be there, but I was just thinking, dude needs to rest too, But
I saw a video of him, and they were interviewing him, and they ask him about it. They go, the kid's being afraid of you. He goes, like, how do you feel? Give one word answer. Good.
I was about to say probably good.
Have you done any of the cons and stuff? Been to any of them?
I haven't, and it's not from lack of desire. I think I'm just not very good at remembering that they are happening, and then I just miss it, and I'm very sad about it. But it is a goal. I do want to go this year. We have a big con in New Orleans every year.
Okay.
Really hoping to go to it. My cat has been making so much noise. I'm hoping you guys can't hear her. She's
that's okay.
You can even bring the cat on. It's a pet friendly show too.
Yeah, my whole thing is animals equal views and stuff, because people love them so much. You can put them on a video or whatever, and watch those numbers go up.
Say hi, Stella.
Stella.
Yes, that's exactly what she's named after, actually. Very famous Stella from A Streetcar Named Desire.
Well, of course, Cheetah. It was like, show us the cat.
Oh, Streetcar. You named it after from Streetcar Named Desire?
Correct.
Is that a favorite of yours?
It is. When I was in high school, I forget what grade I was in. I was taking a theater class, and our theater teacher showed us the movie, which I had never seen before. I was moved. They had the famous Stella scene. I said, wow, I think that might be my favorite female name. And so I just knew when I got her that was what her name was going to be.
It's a good name. You don't hear it that often.
Yeah.
Then watch me in a few days. I'll hear somebody calling out to somebody, "Hey, Stella! Hey, Stella!"
That's exactly. And then you should do that to her, because that is exactly why she is named that. I want y'all to be. Can you look?
Like, what? Stella!
Look, I just want attention.
And it's like, yeah, I don't care. Just pet me.
Just give me love, please.
That's cats for you.
Yeah. She and I are equally obsessed with each other. And she has separation anxiety. So when I'm home and I'm not giving her attention for too long, she's like, I'm going to make sure that I'm your problem until you do.
Just jump up.
She ruins a lot of audition tapes for me.
Oh, okay.
She's like, I want attention. I'm going to meow and ruin it for you.
It's been 2 minutes, but it feels like 200 days. Like, come on.
I know. She is a handful, but I love her so much.
How long have you had her?
About 7 years now. I had to do the math. I adopted her right after I turned 21. So
She's a beautiful cat. That she is a beautiful one.
Yeah.
Thank
Everybody
you.
likes Stella.
Yes, she is my favorite girl.
All right. On that note, good night, everybody. No, I'm just kidding.
You can go back over here.
Yeah, I always say that animals equal views, and I swear, if you watch it when these videos where people just they do the animals, watch the numbers.
Mm-hmm. I think when I play the replay, I'll be like, check out the cat, Stella, the super cat.
Big surprise appearance. You might
10,000 views in 2 days. Just mention the word cat.
Yeah.
That's what I'm going to do. When I redo the thumbnails and put in everything in, I'll put cat video.
Yeah, it's like Pat saying cats equal views. I think all animals equal views.
Yeah, any animal. Yeah.
And that's so funny is like I love animals so much. I care more about the animals. Like if you're watching a movie, if somebody dies, it's like
who cares?
Yeah. There was somebody.
But if the animal is about to die, I'm like, oh my god, I'm willing to throw hands.
There was somebody who was it that says about you should never work with kids or animals.
Oh, I don't remember who said that.
But have you ever worked with animals in any of your acting?
It's like speaking of animals. How about Night of the Wild? I don't think that animal loved you.
Yes, that was so much fun. I made quite a few friends who I'm still in contact now with from that movie and loved every minute. And the animals were so well behaved and so
Ironically, they were well behaved.
ironically, it was a learning experience for sure because I think there was a few scenes where they were trying to get a video of a dog growling and they, for whatever reason, couldn't get the dog to growl. It was so sweet. It wasn't angry. It didn't want to growl. So they have this device that they stick on the dog's muzzle that literally like lifts up its mouth like this to show its teeth. And they just videoed it, and the dog was actually like this. Like you could see in its eyes, it was so sad, but it's still got its little lip sitting up like that.
It's like, I don't want to look mean.
All they had to do was just put in some ADR of a dog growling on top, and the audience never.
Well, actually, some of them, all you got to do to get them to growl, do something that annoys them.
Yeah.
My dog's not a growler, but she hates it when I blow on her ears.
Mm-hmm.
She hates it. And also, I'll do it, and also, I get this. She gets a whole look. That's all you really got to do is just do something to annoy them, and you'll get it.
They said we came prepared. We're just gonna fake it till we make it. And the wire is so tiny. It does go over the nose of the dog, but it's so small. It's really not noticeable. So that was a little behind the scenes trick that I learned. I was like, wow, it really makes you think.
I wonder how many other movies
they used to use peanut butter to make it look like they would talk.
Right.
Yeah,
right.
Just being there, something else is like, oh, that's messed up.
They had there was one scene, the scene where I get attacked by a dog in that movie, where I had to have a stunt double. They had I wasn't supposed to be wearing a very big black sweatshirt. It didn't really make sense, but they needed me to wear something to cover
like the guards and the bite.
The guard on their arm, that they had to cover with the sweatshirt, and I had a stunt double for that. And they were like, "Okay, the dog's gonna run in." They made sure everybody backed away. They're like, "The dog is fine. The dog is friendly," but for everybody's safety, they made sure we stayed far away. And they had the dog come in and attack the stunt double. And then I remember there was one shot they wanted to get where it's me on camera and you see the dog running in from the background. And I remember they came up to me, they were like, "We really want to get this shot. We want to make sure you're completely comfortable. Is it okay if you are standing here and the dog is not going to come anywhere near you? We're going to have him kind of run in a little arc like that so that you see him come into frame, but then he's going to run to the trainer over here on the side." And I was like, absolutely. The dogs were so well behaved, so well trained. It was a really fun experience. So I would say it's okay to work with animals, but it just depends on what animals you're working with.
Yeah, no spiders, no snakes.
No, that's a hard no for me.
Hey, you send me to the Olympics, put a snake in front of me, I'll get all the gold.
Yeah,
you just got to put up with the loud, high-pitched screaming when you put that, just drop it in. I'll get it.
Who's that girl screaming? Oh, it's Echo. It's the little guy.
We were like, "Where's you have it like in Canada, or wherever? Where's Echo? Oh, he's in Russia. Hell, get over there."
Just running away from a snake or a spider.
So I guess you're not in the remake of Arachnophobia then, huh?
I can't say that I am, and I can't say that's the desire I have.
I just watched In the Spider's Web. You got these people that got these live spiders like crawling on them and they're dancing around. Like, no.
I think that's a hard limit for me, filming wise. There isn't a ton that I say that I'm not open to doing, but I'm terrified of insects. I'm terrified of spiders. I'm terrified of snakes. It's a no for me.
Especially if you have to, when they say, okay, you got to stand there. You got to stand there or lay there and you go, can you do it in CGI?
Yeah.
Can you do it in CGI?
I remember actually in the first movie that we talked about, Proof of the Devil 2, there was a scene where my character was really rude and she said a lot of mean things. So there was a character that was possessed that made her spit out roaches. And so they gave me a fake roach to put in my mouth. And I knew it was fake. I could see that it was fake. It was clearly a rubber roach. But still doing that freaked me out. And I did it. I was a trooper and I did it. But something mentally.
It's like a subconscious thing. It's like I saw these things. I sent some people these pictures. They're called cockroach donuts.
Mm-hmm.
The shape like them. Then nowhere. The things are probably about this big, so they're not real ones. So I sent some people some pictures of them. I go, would you eat this? Oh hell no!
Nope.
Nah.
It's like a subconscious thing. It's like no.
Nope. It's a hard no for me, and I understand.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Your mom's talking about it. It was an actor. Again, he said not to work with kids or animals.
And then Stephen Chang, like I said, that finds everything.
WC Films. I do remember someone like, don't work with kids or animals.
Ah, that makes sense.
What if you had an animal you could work with that you would like to work with? Was there some specific one you would like to, other than a cat?
Probably a cat, but I love all animals. So I think working with anyone would be so fun. I want to maybe work with, like I said, obviously cats, but I think if we were to film a scene, maybe with, well, a dolphin is an animal. Yeah. To do a scene with dolphins, like in the water with dolphins, that would be so cool.
Ooh.
Or horses, to do horseback riding. I would love to do a period piece like Bridgerton or Pride and Prejudice, something like that, where I got to do horseback riding.
And dress up in the attire of that era.
Oh, yes. The dream.
Yeah. A little random fact. When I was in Camp Blood, Butch Patrick, and we were talking to him, Eddie Monster, he said that he actually rode the horse that was in Mr. Ed. I'm like, that's awesome that you rode Mr. Ed.
Wow.
I was like, I doubt many people can say that. I'm like, yeah, I rode Mr. Ed.
That's awesome.
Uh,
So fun.
Patrick was saying Stella would steal the scene if you were in it.
I think cats would be hard to work with because that's the way they are compared to dogs. They have more of an independent like nature to them. Some of them.
Maybe. I have seen some pretty trained cats though in like an animal actors type show at Universal Studios or something like that. Like I think with proper training, cats can also be taught or work.
I got one. Her name is Peppo. I call her the demon cat. She doesn't let anybody touch her. Well, she lets me touch her, but that's because I'm the one that feeds her. But she doesn't let anybody, especially women. You cannot figure out why.
Really?
She's more open to letting guys touch her, but if it's a woman, she gets like all defensive.
Interesting.
But yeah, she'd be bad in the movie because you'd be like trying to do something with her, and she'd just be like walking off and hiding, hissing at people.
Stella, usually, I'm surprised, honestly. She must have just really wanted attention because she's usually pretty camera shy. And I think maybe it's because I don't have anybody sitting right behind this camera filming for me. But yeah, usually when I'm like taping an audition and she's wanting attention and I pick her up, she's like, oh, I see the camera. I don't want to be in this. Anytime I want to take a video of her for TikTok or something, it's almost like she knows. She knows it's the camera on her. And she's just like, oh, I don't want to be. So I don't think she would be the perfect candidate to work with if I were going to do a cat. But I would love that.
You'd have to do the hidden cameras. I don't know.
Yeah. I have no idea how she knows. She's so smart. But she does.
Cats are.
Yeah, they're so smart.
Well, okay, you've done, doing, interviews of Vampire, in the past. Would you be open to doing something that, say, would be futuristic?
Of course. Funnily enough, I just rewatched Ready Player One a week or two ago. And I just thought, wow, obviously to work with Steven Spielberg would be insane. But yeah, something like that, all the virtual reality, like very futuristic, that would be such a challenge, I think. And I would love that.
Yeah, because they would have to guess, okay, this is how they're going to dress in the future, how they're going to talk, and then you got to bring it to life as an actress.
And then I think if it were close enough in the future where something like Back to the Future, right? Like we've reached the part where he goes to the future. We've passed that in years. So to see what the interpretation would be of what the future would be like in the film, and then to reach that year in real life to see how it holds up, that would be really cool.
I'm still waiting for my clothes that, when I get wet, it automatically dries.
Automatically dries.
Still waiting for that.
flying cars and hoverboards. Like, come on.
Well, you can see, it's not the hoverboards. It's not the,
the shoelaces that
hologram.
tie.
Yeah, clothes that can fit to your size automatically. It's just, I want the stuff drying cold.
Oh, the pizza in the oven, how it had the mini pizza and took it out in like 5 seconds, and then it was a giant pizza.
Yep. Oh, they had some really great ideas. I wish we had some of those things. Unfortunately, I think Ready Player One might be more realistic to what our future might look like.
And we're already doing virtual reality.
Exactly.
Which, by the way, first time I ever did it with a PSVR, they should have given you a warning because I took it off and it was just one of the things I had you got to readjust. So it's like, whoa. I had to sit there for a bit like, okay, everything's spinning.
I do get pretty motion sick. So the first time I tried virtual reality, I was really disoriented from doing it.
It's just two of our senses, hearing and sight. Because I did one where they can go to a beach in Japan and it was like looking around like, oh.
I did the hang gliding one too over the mountains. Like, dang, this looks like you're actually just like.
But it is though. When you take it off, you got to like adjust back.
Mm-hmm.
And they've also done some little movie type stuff in VR.
Have they?
Yeah, they've done like little scenes and stuff.
Okay.
And all, but they have to use that camera. What's that camera? It's like a 360 or something. Like a ball almost.
That makes sense. Yeah, the 360 cameras. I've seen people do videos with them where they hold it and it literally videos everything.
Google has one. And they came by one time in our town, and all of a sudden this car real fast, could barely see that it said Google on the side. Boom!
And then it was gone.
Yeah, and it's just uncle. What the hell was that? Oh wait a minute. Why did that thing have something on the top? Its top. Not gonna say what it looked like. It looked really inappropriate, but then I realized, oh. Okay.
Then
that's what that is.
They can get such good quality videos by driving that quickly, though.
Yeah, they do that because they got to record a ton. You know, when if they do like New Orleans, they might have to have more than one.
Mm-hmm.
But they got to get all those streets and all that stuff. And again, I have seen some stuff where they have done, little movie things like, oh, you're being attacked by a zombie. You can see what it's like. Getting in the back of the vehicle.
Yeah.
I don't personally have a virtual reality headset, so I don't have a ton of experience. I have played around with my brothers before, but that was just once. And it was a little dancing guy. It was almost like this is the how-to. You learn how to use the hand pieces.
Oh, yeah, you got to use. Who knows? Maybe eventually we will see a movie theaters having VR and you can go in. That'd be an interesting experience.
Yeah, part of the movie. There we in. What was the one?
4D experience, right?
I guess they would call that. I guess
they have that. I'm pretty sure that's a thing that already exists. The 4D movie theaters where you go and the seats.
Oh
yeah.
Water on you and then it'll snow or something if it's snowing.
They used to have decades ago these different gimmicks when you go to the movie theaters.
Uh-huh.
So this is like I think this is when 3D popped up, but they had like a smell-o-rama or whatever. Oh, okay. It smells like roses. Okay, they're gonna pump in the smell of roses. Oh God, what died? They're gonna put in something foul.
Right. I don't know.
The worst was Shakorama. So you sit in your seat. Oh, it's electrocuting. Oh, there's a little buzzer under your seat. You'll be jumping up like, oh.
That sounds like fun. I don't know if I would like the bad smells. I mean, it might make the horror movie experience a little more believable, though.
So it was saying like the Simpsons ride at Universal.
Yeah,
and I was thinking the Honey I Shrunk the Audience at MGM. At one point, like mice run by your feet, and it feels like tails are hitting your feet in the dark. I'm like, oh yeah.
Mm-hmm.
There's a movie called Popcorn, where it's a horror movie. It was made in Jamaica, which, by the way, that had to be an interesting experience. You're gonna make a movie, make it in Jamaica. Oh, I'm going on vacation. But they brought in a lot of these. Oh, it's an 80s horror movie, whatever. They brought in and we're talking about a lot of this stuff that we're bringing back in the day. But yeah, the smell-o-rama.
Miss it.
No, they used to give you barf bags as a joke, as a gimmick.
Oh.
For smell-o-rama, give me a barf bag where they put in like, it smells like a dead body, so I can just have something like, oh God.
What if they actually make people sick? Because
You must not do very well in haunted houses then.
They don't do them in my part of Washington State.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
That all goes to. I always say there's more love to Western Washington and Seattle than the rest of the state.
Well, Halloween is my favorite holiday, and Halloween Horror Nights at Universal Orlando is my favorite thing to do every year that I know I'm going to do every single year. And they are really good about pumping in the smells in addition to like you got the gross sounds and the actors coming at you and the set is perfect and then they pump the really gross smells in there and it envelops all of your senses. It's really fun.
Yeah, and sometimes they do because they did a Chucky thing. Was that this year?
Well, they're doing the Purge this year.
Yeah. Okay. What if you? Okay, I would. Would you be up to doing something like that? Be one of those scare people just for fun for one night?
Sure. Oh, for sure.
Oh.
Actually,
give me the chainsaw.
Yeah, give me the chainsaw. Put me in all the makeup. Let me scare people. That would be so much fun. Are you kidding me?
I'm Leatherface.
Love that. Though it might change it for me because I've never done something like that before. I've only ever attended as a guest, and it might make it a little less scary for me if I did that. If I was like, oh, you're getting in the makeup and you're gonna scare people, and they're probably taking you behind the scenes to do all that. I'm like, oh, I don't know if I want to. I don't want to look behind the curtain.
Yeah, but then you can have the fun of scaring people.
Right.
Make up for that.
Oh yeah. I would love to do that. I like scaring people with my scary movies.
So since you said you like to go to Universal, you're planning on going to this year to Halloween?
I will be. I don't know what dates yet.
Because I was going to say, if you figure out what dates, there's actually a convention. I mean, if you're not, I guess you can attend it and see how it is. Spooky Empire is in Orlando. So, and it's not that far from Universal. So like maybe you could work out a date and visit your first convention.
I will have to look into that. Thank you for letting me know.
I'll send you the dates for it and everything. So yeah, I know the guy who runs it, PD. And so I don't know if they need more guests or not. I could even message him and just be like, hey, would you be interested in another guest? Because I actually got Serena Vincent to come to his convention. So yeah.
How fun.
So yeah. So who knows? It might work out either way. I mean, but they're fun to go to, even if you're not a guest. You can check everything out and meet everybody.
I think I would just want to attend too. Like, I mean, I would.
You could go incognito and no one would know who you are. You could like dress up and.
It's what's his name from Mythbusters? Jamie. He does that. Can I show Mythbusters?
I do know Mythbusters. It's been a long time.
Okay, Jamie, the one guy, Jamie. He's done that where he gets on a full costume and he just, you can't tell it's him. And he just goes and walks around.
I don't think that I am on that level that I would need to do that. I think I would show up and I wouldn't need to be incognito at all because I'm not at the level yet to be incredibly recognized yet. But maybe one day.
You might be recognized. Who knows? I mean,
come on, NCIS, Interview with a Vampire, which is even before it was a movie, it was known. The book series was known.
Right.
So people were like, oh, Interview with a Vampire.
What was funny was I don't know if you remember that show Face Off where they did all the masks and special effects and stuff. I forget which season she won or if she was in second place or if she did win, but Laura was there one year because I guess she was from the area and she wasn't a guest. She was just, there. I literally bumped right into, like I was going around the corner and she bumped into me. I'm like, I'm sorry. And she goes, I'm like, oh, hi, Laura. And she's like, hi, because I recognized her. I go, I didn't know you were going to be here. And she goes, yeah, I just wanted to stop by. You never know who you're going to run into. And so I got a picture with her and everything. She was cool, but I couldn't believe it. Just literally, I bumped right into, I'm like, sorry. Oh, hey. I was like, I know you.
I think one of the best one was Bryan Cranston showed up in a Bryan Cranston Halloween mask.
Oh god!
And they didn't know it was. He goes to ask a question, and all of a sudden he just pulls the mask off like, "Hi."
Inception. Like, I'm still Bryan Cranston.
Let me pull off this. Oh, I can't. It's like pull off another mask. No, I'm really Bryan Cranston. Yeah.
I think that is a really smart way to go about being incognito if you want to go to like a con or to something where when you're super recognizable, it's like, oh, it's Halloween. Let me wear
dress up.
Mm-hmm. Nobody would know the difference and you can enjoy it as just a normal person.
Yeah. So
I would definitely do that if I ever became famous enough, because I'm always going to go to Halloween Horror Nights. So if I was ever famous enough to where I didn't want to like really be bothered, I would probably just, I would like do face paint and like wear a wig or something and do a costume. Because nothing's going to stop me from going to that. I love it so much.
You're like, I'm always going to Halloween Horror Nights.
I am always going. Even if it's just for one night, I prefer to go for a few nights. But if it's just for one night, I mean, I'm going.
Mm-hmm. So, yeah.
The one thing I miss about living near Seattle is we got a lot of, the conventions and the different stuff and all. But we had EMP, the Experience Music Project, that big building music thing they put in Seattle. The moment they put it up, the joke was, God, that building's ugly. It looks like the Space Needle just took his clothes off and just. That's one of those places. They do like movie stuff, music stuff there, and it's like, I've been asked, have you been there?
No, I haven't.
It looks awesome. It's like, a lot of like music stuff, movie stuff. They had a whole bunch of Star Wars stuff.
Oh, cool.
And it's just like, it's like, how awesome.
Are y'all going to judge me if I tell you I haven't seen the Star Wars?
No.
You're actually not the first that hasn't seen it.
There's it's like, I come from, there's Star Wars or Star Trek.
Mm-hmm.
I'm Star Trek.
Okay.
And then there's also, I've never seen either, which is not no big, there's not no crime.
Right.
Unless you tell the wrong person, then they're like, let me go get my pitchfork.
There are some super fans out there that will get really offended.
How dare you?
Yeah. But I've tried. I started with the original first one, which I think is now number 4.
Yeah, New Hope.
And I couldn't get into it. I've tried, and it wasn't my thing. But I respect the fandom. I respect how much people love that series, and get it. It's not for me.
It's just a series that unfortunately hasn't had the best of luck over the last few years.
Star Wars, or we're talking about
they haven't liked the Star Wars stuff. They bashed them, like that last movie, Rise of Skywalker, whatever. They put out a petition to be like, make this no longer canon, redo it.
That's so sad.
Just like they wanted to redo Game of Thrones. Like, it's not happening. Like, as much as we would like it, they're not going to spend all that money just to redo.
No.
Yeah, Disney spent millions upon millions of dollars. They're not going to spend millions of a million more just to redo it.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah. Mark Hamill is Steve's favorite Joker voice. Yeah.
Who retired? He's no longer going to be doing Joker.
Oh, really?
When what's his name? The guy did voice Batman when he died. I guess I read somewhere he's like, no, I can't. He's like, I can't do it. He's not here anymore. I can't.
Get it? They just got to start over then at that point.
Yeah.
Bring in fresh voices. Oh, that's so sad.
Okay, you've done with it. Disney owns Star Wars and they own Marvel.
Yes.
Would you be open to doing a superhero role? And if so, what kind of superhero role would you like to do?
I can't say I've ever thought about it. Of course, I would love to. I mean, if that opportunity was given to me, I'm not going to say no. It sounds amazing. But probably, I don't know. Maybe like, you know what I did just see was the new Spider-Verse, the second Spider-Verse cartoon.
Oh, yeah.
When, if I could do Gwen or Spider-Gwen. Not the Gwen guys.
Yeah, not Gwen. Spider-Gwen.
Spider-Gwen. Like in a live action, if they were to do something like that, I think that would be.
And Marvel. I mean, Disney does. There is a series of heroes there that belong to Marvel that happen to be in Louisiana. The name is Gambit.
Gambit, yeah.
And all those characters. That'd be a great show to do down there.
Well, there was supposed to be a Gambit movie.
It was,
but like you have the different guilds, like the Thieves Guild and the Assassins Guild, all down there in Louisiana. It's like that'd be awesome. You have it right down there in Louisiana.
It was before COVID, and I don't know why it got scrapped, but I remember auditioning for Gambit back when it was supposed to happen. They got so far to where they were trying to cast it, and Channing Tatum was supposed to be playing Gambit. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, it was Channing Tatum was supposed to be Gambit. Yeah,
but it never.
And Steven's saying they could see you as Mary Jane Watson.
Oh, well, I already got the same first name, so
Yeah. Mary Reiser as Mary J.
yeah, I would love that.
You just gotta be able to use the phrase tiger.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Spider-Man is my favorite superhero. That I have not seen all of. There's so many now. All of the Marvel films. I've seen a few, but
I was going to say which Spider-Man? Tobey Maguire.
I love all of them. Honestly. My favorite Spider-Man is Andrew Garfield's.
Okay.
I like that last one. I really liked him.
Yeah.
I didn't like the ending of that last live action movie. I didn't like it. I was like, oh.
One you didn't like?
Yeah, that last one where it had Doctor Strange.
Yeah, you didn't like it.
No, I liked it, but they got to the ending. No, why are you doing that?
That was so disappointing. I know.
But he had her now. He's lost everything. Why?
Yeah. Like, why? You didn't have to do that. You didn't have to do that. Y'all could have just wrote that it got resolved.
Yeah, that Randy walks in, she magically remembers him, but no, it's just like doesn't. It's like no.
It did. It did.
Like, I guess the next one he'll have to tell her again, or she'll find out.
Seeing that movie in the theaters, did you see it? Did you guys see it in the theaters when it came out?
I didn't see
that last live action one. Yes,
that was so incredible. We saw it the opening night or the Thursday technically before it was released, and being in the theater when everybody was speculating whether or not that Toby and Andrew were going to be in the movie, and so when Toby came out and Andrew came out, everyone was like, the whole audience freaked out.
It took a while for my enjoyability in that to kick in, because that was one of the first times post-COVID when they were starting to open things up in my area. So people were like not allowing people to sit near them. They were like 2 to 3 seats next to them. Like, no. So I sat 3 seats over from this guy, and it still lit up enough. I remember looking over, and he just was glaring at me like, son of a bitch, why are you sitting there? And then this woman came in, and I found out that's why, because he didn't want me sitting anywhere near her, because he was like, people were getting upset, and like, because they were like, can we sit there? No. And they're going to hear this, I'm going to get my money back. And there was no restrictions.
Well, it's a public movie thing. I mean,
it's a public place. I bought my ticket. I deserve to be just as much as you.
So it made it a little uncomfortable at first, but then once I eventually was able to get into the movie, it's just like,
what you should have done was act like you're playing just to mess with it.
Oh God, I did that one time. I walked into Dollar Tree. This is when everything was first starting. I went on accident. I just had to sneeze or cough or whatever. Whole store turns and looks at me. I'm like,
oh no,
I'm okay. It's just a cough.
There was a meme. I don't know. Did you watch The Walking Dead?
I did not.
Well, there was this one where Carol, she shot the girl in the back of the head, and she told her to look at the flowers. So when COVID hit and it showed someone coughing, and the next one it said, "Look at the flowers." I was like, damn.
What a crazy part of history, honestly. Like, just thinking back to how insane things were during COVID.
Yeah.
And like, even hearing your story.
Oh yeah. That movie Pearl, the sequel to, or the prequel to X. Well, if you watch it, those people wearing masks in the movie because it was shot during COVID. How they explain why they're wearing masks, because it takes place during World War One. They go, oh, there's a disease going around,
or like a plague or something.
Yeah, so it's like, I was like, oh, that's actually kind of, it's an interesting way to excuse why you can have people walking around with masks during the movie.
That makes sense. Yeah. Another one I saw where they did the mask thing was Glass Onion. Did either of you watch Glass Onion? No, never. It was the sequel to Knives Out.
Oh, Knives Out.
I heard that was the sequel. Okay, yeah, but I haven't. Yeah.
Yeah, it's another murder mystery type called Glass Onion, and it was filmed during COVID, and they had a part where they had them filming masks, and then they did something where they're like, oh, here's a neck injection, and now you don't have to wear the mask anymore. So it was their way of being like, COVID exists in the time that it was shot.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, it's a good movie. You should check it out.
I'll have to put
Glass
it on.
Onion.
Like I said, though, I watch so much, it's hard to keep up with stuff because I got shows that I like to watch. Then, like, whoever comes on the show, I watch you guys' movies and shows. And it's just
sometimes if I don't remember the name because I've seen so much, it's like, just show me the poster or an image from it.
Mhm.
and it will. If I've seen it, it will trigger the kind of like, oh yeah, I did see it.
Yeah.
Right. That makes sense. I saw something about Assassin's Creed.
We'll say about
Yeah.
another period piece, I guess, if they do another film.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so
Listen,
The-
I'm not turning down roles. I love to make movies. I love to make TV shows.
But Assassin's Creed is a double period piece, though, if I remember right.
yeah, because it
you
was
have
a
the past
present
and the
in
future.
past. Yeah.
So you could literally like either do the past or the future,
okay.
or maybe do both. Like you play the ancestor of your character in the future.
Yeah.
Okay.
They would like you'd be like some scientist or whatever, or doctor, or whatever, and then the person who's in the past would run into like your ancestor.
Like they went into their body or something or whatever it was. Yeah. So.
What game console is Assassin's Creed on?
Multiple ones. I believe.
I think every single one. PlayStation,
multiple
Xbox.
ones.
Yeah.
But yeah, so it's like he's going into this device because they had to find the stuff that's hidden.
Uh-huh.
And he's like in the future, but he's got to go. His device takes him to the past of his ancestor.
Mhm.
So something like that, you could play like one of the people working with the device in the future,
Mhm.
and then the person would go into the past, and they would meet your descendant who would look just like you.
They do like to do that in movies sometimes. They use the same actor to be like, oh yeah, this is you, this is your great 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 grandmother or something, and it's played by the same actor. I do enjoy that.
But wouldn't you have to play it like your ancestor would have to be different, especially if they'd be like, okay, your ancestor is like you're American, but your ancestor is like French or something. Then all of a sudden you got it like, oh damn, I got a French accent. I got to speak French.
Mm-hmm.
Have you ever had to
No.
have you
That
have you had
just
to do accents though before?
two accents. I can't say I've ever done an accent in a film or a show before. I don't think so. I've definitely had to audition with one before, but I have never actually played a role where I had an accent. Not yet.
I was thinking what your mom said to me. I've told the
She
story
saw-
before.
yeah, she still
One
wears
of
a
the
mask.
funniest things I saw, I'd walked out of the store called Winco, and I see a guy with one of those $10 Halloween hockey masks.
Mm-hmm.
All the holes walking in. And it's like, that's not going to qualify as a mask.
No, if it has holes like
No.
Big holes,
mask
or
doesn't
like,
count. No.
I couldn't tell if he had another mask under it, but it's just like, one thing you see, you just kind of stop and you just.
It's like not a Halloween mask. That doesn't count. Really.
People were doing some crazy things back then, that they were trying to get away with.
I like how they made fun of it on South Park. Like, you know how people, they'll wear it, but they wear it under their nose. So in South Park, they were calling it butt chins. Oh, you got your butt chin mask? Oh, I'm sorry. And so they were calling it, like, yes. And so like the mailman's like, oh, I'm sorry. I'll put my butt chin mask on.
They had a poster that told you the proper way to wear the mask. Not
Uh-huh.
like this, not like this, not like this, not like that. It's like this.
Let me plug my phone in really quick because I don't want to be.
Oh, yeah. Just
Oh no! Give me 1 second, guys.
all right.
Hold down.
Yeah, that was a funny episode of South Park. Oh, your butt chin.
Your
Yeah,
butt
I knew.
mask because people didn't want to wear them.
No.
But I'm
It's like
so
you might as well not be wearing them if it's like that anyway. It's like, what the heck is that going to do?
glad that was the point.
My goatee used to be a lot longer than this,
Did it?
but the masks would put an indent in it. And
Wow.
I'm shampooing it, trying to get it out. And I'm like, oh, son of a bitch.
It
Where's the
wouldn't even come
razor?
out- It wouldn't even come out when you were washing it and stuff.
Washing it? No. It was like from wearing it so much, the indent would be like kind of like look kind of like this, like a curve and stuff. So it's like I was getting mad. So finally, it's just I got to grab the razor, and I hated it because I was trying to grow it really long,
Mm-hmm.
and it was like probably twice this length. It's just like, God damn it. Oh, I was upset. What?
Do you think you're gonna try to grow it out again, or is that
I'm gonna try, but it's just like I can see why that was the problem with masks and beards and stuff.
well, we
They
don't.
don't.
It's not really. We don't really wear masks. It's not like a requirement that much anymore. So if you wanted
Well,
to try,
I fit in the area of compromised immune system. I have what's called psoriasis, and the medicine that I'm on to keep me from breaking out has given me a weaker than normal immune system. So I was one of those who really had to wear a mask because when I get sick, I get a little bit sicker than the normal person.
Mm-hmm.
Not like, oh my God, send me to the hospital unless it's something, serious. But like COVID, I probably would have done a number on me.
Right.
But I got lucky. So I was in that area.
Yeah, well, I had COVID, but thankfully I could still taste stuff. I didn't lose my taste. I was just really tired and like slept. Basically I took a coma. I took a COVID coma. That was basically it.
I did the first, because I've had it more than once, but the only real time that it was hard was the first time that I caught it, and I did lose my taste and smell for about 2 weeks.
That must be weird, like eating stuff and you can't even taste it. Like,
people would say like, oh, it must be really easy for you to eat healthy right now. You can just eat all vegetables and all the stuff that's good for you because you can't taste the difference. But you still eat with your eyes. You still crave certain foods.
Yeah.
You can't taste it. It's almost as if your body forgets that you won't be able to taste it. And so you're eating it, and it's really disappointing because there's no flavor there.
I can't taste it.
You still
Especially if it's something like you're a big fan of, like I love red velvet cake.
Ah, my mom does too.
And if I couldn't taste it, something like red velvet cake or pizza or hot dogs, I'd be in tears. It's like, please let me taste my
What's
cake.
the point of this?
It came back in pieces. The first thing. Hey,
Welcome, Drew.
Welcome.
Okay, here's one for you, okay. The people have talked about, afterwards having lasting effects, side effects that have lasted long afterwards. Have you had any of those, lasting side effects?
I would say not anymore. I had COVID back in 2020, and for a while, yeah, the taste and smell was gone for 2 weeks, but I did feel like the full taste, like my full taste, didn't come back for probably 6 months.
Ooh.
Things just tasted different. Like I could still taste things, but there was just something missing, something different about them. And then for a while, I was super tired when I had it.
Yeah.
And then I felt that way for a while afterwards. Just like, I feel like just more tired than I ever have in my life. That was a lingering effect for sure. But I think I'm well past all those.
Yeah. Yeah. It's like, hopefully that's done it over. But yeah, like I said, I've never felt so weak and tired. Like I hated getting up just to go to the bathroom, right? It's like, I don't want to move.
The closest I ever got was that when I got my last booster, the first 2 times my arm would hurt me. I couldn't raise my arm. If I were like that.
Oh yeah,
hurt.
it's like.
So we had a particularly cold winter here in Washington State. I took my booster. When's the worst time to get the chills?
When it's freezing outside.
I'm like a mummy, like grabbing blankets. I'm like, I can't get warm.
What I hate is when you're hot, you're cold, you're hot, you keep covering up, uncover. It's like I just can't get comfortable. I'm cold and hot. And,
it's a struggle, for sure. Yeah, I don't want to ever get COVID again. That was I would never want to repeat that experience.
No. Yeah. I did want to ask you about Gothic Harvest. How was it working with Bill Moseley? You had some big scenes with him.
Is he as cool in person as he is in the interviews and movies?
Oh, I've met him a few times. He's awesome. I would love to work with him, though. I bet
he's the biggest sweetheart. He really is. He's so professional. He's so funny.
Yeah.
And so kind. And doing Gothic Harvest with him and the whole cast, honestly, like we had a script. And for the most part, we followed the scripts. But the director was really great about letting us improv. Mm-hmm. Or particularly me. I did a lot of improv in that movie, just having so much fun with my character. And there's actually a scene in Gothic Harvest where he and I are in a truck.
Yeah.
Have you seen the film?
Of course, yeah, with the pickup lines. Yeah.
He's reading the pickup lines. That was completely like written that day. And he actually pulled up like a pickup line thing on his phone, and we just improvised that entire scene in the car. So what was so fun about it is every take was different. Every take he was reading different pickup lines so that my reaction was just natural, because like I said, we just improv the entire thing. There was no real dialogue. And it was really hard not to crack up laughing.
I was gonna say that must have been hard because there were
It
some
was.
funny ones.
It was. And
the way he's reading them, he's just like, it's like this. Oh, bless you.
thank you. Yeah, the way he was reading it was just so funny. We were cracking up the entire crew. And so trying not to laugh because he's hilarious and the scene in itself is funny, but acting and seeing everybody around you just dying laughing, it's really hard to keep it together. So I'm super fond of that memory for sure. Actually, I think somebody just uploaded that scene onto TikTok and it went incredibly viral. And I was like, oh, people are finally seeing the humor of Bill Moseley in this movie.
Yeah. When you work with someone like Bill Moseley, do you ever get the phrase fangirl or fanboy, and you find yourself trying not to, like freak out, but like, oh my God, you did this and that?
I would say maybe in the beginning of my career, like when I did Scream Queens and I was sitting next to Jamie Lee Curtis in the makeup chair, I was so excited. One, because it was the first big thing I'd ever did, to be next to all of these huge actors and actresses that I've watched forever. Like I was like, oh my God, I'm so nervous. I'm so starstruck. I'm sitting right next to her. And so I was quiet. I didn't want to be that person that was like fawning over her and freaking out. And so I was sitting in the makeup chair, obviously nervous and quiet, wanting to talk to her, but scared to do so. And so she kind of broke the ice and started talking to me. And I think now that I've been doing this for such a long time, I don't really get starstruck anymore. It is cool. It's very cool to meet these people that you've watched on your screen, but they're just people. They are just normal people who happen to be really talented with a really big platform, and I'm hoping to be one of them one day. And knowing that about myself and how I'm just a regular cool person. So are they.
Is there anybody in terms of an actor, actress, or director or writer that you would really like to work with?
Greta Gerwig and Steven Spielberg, for sure. Yeah. Like the Barbie movie. So amazing.
I had this joke. Okay, we lived in an era where a movie about a toy has been around for decades and about a bomb would be the top two movies at the same time.
I firmly believe that if Oppenheimer had not come out at the same time as Barbie, I don't know that it would have been as big a deal. I think the best thing they could have possibly done was put themselves at the same time as Barbie, because people were just pairing it together. It was an experience that you had to go see both movies. It's like a double feature. We're seeing this morning, this one at night.
My area has somewhat of a link to that movie because when they dropped that bomb, they make the nuclear material for that stuff they need to make it, came from a place called the Hanford site.
Okay.
Which is about an hour from me. So it's like, it's decommissioned.
Decommissioned. You're all safe now.
It's still, contaminated and stuff. So if there's a fire, I'm screwed. But it's like Washington State must love that movie.
Yeah.
I think everyone was going. Also, you see people with peak outfits on. I don't know what they're going to see.
I was one of them. I was dressed in pink to go see Barbie. I saw it more than once, actually.
Did you use the photo filter they had for a while there for Barbie?
I did not. I'm really bad about posting on social media. I'm terrible at it. So I wish I was better at jumping on these trends and like using the Barbie photo thing, and then I would have posted it, but I did not.
And I think they got more toy movies. Uno.
I heard they're going to do an Uno, which is weird. I saw someone talk about like how they going to do Uno, like it's supposed to be like an action or something. It goes, oh yeah, so an officer pulls you over, you're under arrest. Oh, reverse card. No, you're under arrest.
Yeah, I'm confused on how that's going to work, but
they wanted that little vision, that little thing, the little red thing you used to be able to look at pictures in.
Oh, the click where it had the. I know what was that.
That's one of them.
The viewfinders or
whatever.
Yeah,
that's one of them. Hot Wheels.
Okay.
I can
The
see
whole-
Hot Wheels.
a whole bunch of them, but like still, it's like Uno. There's a whole. If you look it up, there's a whole bunch of these toy-related movies. Like, oh, great.
Yeah, we're get ready for a boom when they have a hit like that. Barbie did so well.
Oh
that-
yeah.
A hit like that, they're like, we're just gonna do our best to keep
And
this.
I was in Barnes and Nobles today, and they have a whole bunch of vinyls. And my cousin looks and goes, "Who's this?" And he holds up the Aqua one. You know, I'm a Barbie girl. So in the middle of the bookstore, I'm a Barbie girl. I saw
Yeah.
this thing. And then I realized,
Come on, Barbie. Let's like they played that constantly.
Oh, I was playing
and
that.
it is in the movie.
It's like, oh yeah.
It was
Hiya, Barbie.
sampled for
Hi,
one of the
kid.
songs. Do you know that? It was sampled for one of the songs in the soundtrack.
Yes,
Mhm.
the Nicki Minaj Barbie World remix song, I believe.
Yeah.
That song was all over my TikTok and Instagram. It was everywhere.
Yeah.
So much fun.
I think that was like their biggest song, Aqua. Like, I mean, they had a few other, of course, but I mean, that was like the most well-known one of them all.
Yeah, it was a one-hit wonder.
Only
Hey,
there-
the only song that was better than it was the one that we heard a few years ago. What does the fox say?
Oh my goodness. I forgot that song existed.
And then you'd have an event in your area. So what do? We're going to rewrite that song. So it's Central Washington State Fair. What does the fair say?
I love a good pun. That's
Yeah.
that's a good way to advertise.
They could mix it up and say anything. What does the? So who knows?
I forgot that song existed, actually. It's been such a long time.
So
That's the funniest part. You know, wow, 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 wow.
Well, yeah, like what's also if you put in YouTube, like, do fox talk or like what does the fox say? They actually show like foxes like laughing and stuff. Like, have you ever heard a fox laugh? They're just like,
I have now. I have.
Yeah.
I had a moment in time where I thought I wanted to get a fox as a pet, but I don't think you can in Louisiana. Sure
Yeah,
that's not
some people have, but I've heard them. Some say it's not always a good idea. That some of them could be a bit destructive. And
right.
showing like the furniture and stuff. Ugh. It looks cute and all. It might be fun, but I don't feel like having to, you know, replace a mattress or replace a chair because it just got torn up.
Yeah, they can be a little wild for sure. But there
they
was
are wild animals. So yeah, they are wild. So
the moment in time I thought I wanted to do that, and then quickly realized I couldn't. But they're so cute. They make such fun noises. They say they have like all the cuddliness of a cat and like the energy of a dog. I'm pretty sure or something.
Well, they have a cat. It's called the Werecat.
Oh,
It was a big hit. It's a cat. Can you know how the cat fur is like multi-layer, whatever?
mm-hmm.
A dog single layer. It's the hair is single layer. It has more of the personality of a dog,
Okay.
but the look of it looks like a werewolf, like the fur and stuff. And at one point in time, they were like, "Oh, you can sell these. It's about 100. No, it was 1,500 for just a kitten." And I'm like, "Why am I not selling that? Why am I not getting into that?"
I'm very much an adopt, don't shop kind of person. I can't see myself ever like paying that much money to adopt a kid.
Well, apparently people were because there was a long waiting list.
That makes sense. I'm not saying that my opinion is you know, the way of life, but that's just, yeah. I adopted Stella from an animal shelter.
Oof.
And
My favorite transformation ever, a werewolf transformation in a movie. I think part of what made that scene so great was the actor's performance. Because it's like his first time he's transforming, he has no idea what's going on. So he's feeling his pain, but then he's seeing all his limbs, his fingers changing. He's just like, he's like freaking out, like, oh my God. Well, you know, it's his whole body, you get the freak out of like, you know, seeing your body go through this transformation for the first time.
Seeing yourself sprout hair and like your claws.
Yeah.
I still think that's like one of the best werewolf transformations.
Yeah, and again, I think it's not just because of the effects; it is his performance.
Mm-hmm.
By you know, having that going through that for the first time. So, and it's like his belly sinks in. It gets, you know, his body's, you know, getting longer and fingers and all that stuff, and him literally like looking down and seeing this and freaking out and not knowing what's going on. Which
Mhm.
makes, if you haven't seen the movie, that scene is, just watch his performance, and it is absolutely incredible to watch his, you can see the terror in
Uh-huh.
this guy's, in his eyes, and just being like, ah.
Yeah.
I
Yeah,
bet.
David Naughton was good in that. So he was in I don't know if you've seen Holliston that Adam Green did and Joe Lynch. He had people like Danielle Harris in it, Kane Hodder. What they want to do in the TV show, they want to make a horror movie. That's their job to be filmmakers, called Shin Pads, about like a soccer zombie team. They end up meeting Jonathan Landis and like all these guest stars. Dee Snider plays their boss in it. And
sorry about that. My monster wanted in. My dog.
Oh.
But David Naughton was in an episode. They did like a werewolf episode, and he's in the hospital, and they go in and like they think he's a werewolf, and that's pretty funny. But the stuff that they get on that show.
I mean, the second movie they went with CGI. It really wasn't as good. The second movie, American Werewolf in Paris, but Werewolf in London, again, it's to see his performance of Transformer for the first time. It's why I love it so much.
Yeah.
The other ones, like, they're like, oh, great. They stand there like they're happy, or the classic one with Lon Chaney Jr. just kind of sits there, swipe at each one. But it's his performance that just is like, dude, that's awesome.
It really sells it.
Yeah.
I understand why CGI is used so much now. I know it's a lot cheaper than practical effects, but it really does it makes the difference when they don't use CGI. Like it's just so much better in my opinion.
One of my pet peeves is when they do like the CGI blood shots when someone's being hit.
Mm-hmm.
It's and like the Mortal Kombat blood spray.
but they're laying there, and then you're looking at the where they were shot, and you're not seeing any holes and no blood. It's like, can't you take 5 minutes to do a little fake blood hole, fake wounds on the outfit and the clothes?
Mm-hmm.
And otherwise, it's just like, oh, I have done some reviews where they've done that. And I've had to shut my mouth when they do the fake CGI blood. I'm just like watching the movie, and I'm like, oh god damn it, not again with the CGI blood.
Yeah,
it could be pretty bad. I fully am all for doing the special effects and practical effects yourself, or real, because it just looks so much better.
Yeah, the part where his spine bulged out looks like the most painful.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be honest, I have not seen this, but
it is American Werewolf in London is a good movie, but when you get to that scene, it's just like, it's mind blowing. Not just the the effects. It's all practical.
Okay.
And all. You look at the Thing from 1980s, which had a lot of great practical effects.
Mm-hmm.
This is almost on par with that. And stuff, and they had like have the hair growing through the fake skin, and when they would do something with the finger like extending, they had to do that with practical effects. But again, it's his performance, this terror, just like will grab you and be like, oh wow. And people have called the transformation from Howling, the Howling.
Okay.
And where they go, that's the best ever. I go, no, watch American Werewolf in London. Watch his performance. Watch the effects. It is insane.
I feel embarrassed as somebody who loves Halloween Horror Nights and Universal Monsters and like all of this, who has not seen American Werewolf in London. I think
it might be a bit of a hidden gem,
because
there's a lot of these old movies that you'll find some fans will know about, but others won't, because this is like they don't really get talked about.
Right.
And this one, I've heard a lot of people praise The Howling.
Yeah, I've heard more of that Howling than American Werewolf.
And don't get me wrong, I enjoyed The Howling.
Yeah, The Howling's
awesome
good
movie. But again, what about American Werewolf in London?
You're just hyping it up so much. I've got to check it out.
You're like, I'm gonna go watch it.
Yeah, again, like if you start talking to some fans, you're going to talk about movies. You're going to hear about these different hidden gems.
Mm-hmm.
Which I think is great with fans, is you get to hear about these hidden gems.
Yeah.
And you go, I've never seen it, but I'm going to check it out. No,
I definitely do. I'm pretty sure I have seen maybe the scene, I think, where his face, it's kind of like a profile thing, and they show his face like
Oh
along.
yeah, and Howling when you see it going out.
Yeah.
That's look, that's a great one. Okay, that's just the face. What about the whole body? There is a scene in one of them where they're supposed to be making out, having love, and in the middle of having sex, they transform. That's rotoscope, because all they did was they hand drew that with animation, and they made it all dark so you couldn't see anything.
Oh.
But
kind of like Wolf Cop. That's such a weird movie. I don't know if you've seen Wolf Cop.
I haven't seen Wolf Cop.
And then there's another Wolf Cop. There's two of them. And it's interesting. I'll say that. But Drew was saying, would you want to live the life of a werewolf where you only turn during full moon and undergo a painful transformation?
I think after a while you'd get used to the pain in a way.
Probably.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't think I would want to live the werewolf life.
I think a vampire would be even worse. Let me do my hair and
oh, you can't see the mirror. Well, the mirror thing I learned is because it wouldn't really affect them nowadays, mirrors, because the reason that vampires you couldn't see them in their reflection is because the mirrors used to be made with silver in them. I forget what the actual chemical name is, but there used to be silver involved in making a mirror, and now there's not. So it actually would
technically could have a reflection then.
Right. So technically they could have a reflection if it was a mirror not made with this. What is it called? I'm not sure. But yeah, they could get away with having a reflection nowadays. Mm-hmm. So I think vampire life, though I would miss the sun so much.
Yeah.
Well, it's like you've seen stuff where they can go out in the sun. Like there's so many different variations of vampires.
Don't mention the sparkling ones.
No, I'm not gonna.
No sparkling ones.
I was gonna say no sparkling ones.
I think my favorite vampires are from the Vampire Diaries. Those seem like that would be a pretty cool way to be a vampire.
Yeah, they used to have they haven't done any conventions since COVID, but a friend of mine, he did like sparkling convention vampire, but he also did Vampire Diaries, and he had people from Vampire Diaries come, and so that was fun. That was a good show. So
yeah,
what's kind of funny is oh god, I can't think of her name right now, but she was Alex, or the girlfriend of Paul's character in it, where they were playing pool. She played Lexi in the show.
Yes. Ariel.
Yeah. Well, I didn't even know it, but she was from like when I met her, she seemed familiar, and I said, "Yeah, Asian feel like me." She's like, "Yeah, I don't know." And then the next day, I was thinking about it, and she said she's from Altamont, where I used to live in DeBary, not far from Orlando, that area, Sanford. And when I went over to the FYE at the Altamont Mall one time to help out, I go, "Did you ever go to FYE?" And she goes, "Yeah, I shop there all the time." And I go, "You know what? I was over there one day," and I go, "Maybe you came in." And she's like, "Wow, I bet, because I went in FYE like every weekend." So like I had helped her and didn't even know it at the time. And I think it was before she started acting too. But it was just so funny. We had that vibe, like, I swear I know you from somewhere. And it was like, oh yeah.
Do you ever get that happen to you when someone would like walk up to you? They'll be like, I know you from somewhere. So you get that?
That has happened to me. The most recent one, or the best experience that comes to mind, is I was at the grocery store and I was checking out. And the girl that was checking out my groceries was like, "God, you look so familiar. How would I know you?" And I was like, I didn't.
How do you know?
I was like, I have no idea. I'm so sorry. And she was like, "You look like the girl. I just watched this Lifetime movie." And I was like, I was in a Lifetime movie. It's possible that it was me. And she's like, "Oh yeah, it was about the parents, like they died, and then the family had to move." And I was like,
yeah.
Me.
Like, yeah,
oh my God, no way.
Yeah, that was a good one. I like that one too. How was it working with John Snyder?
So fun. He is so sweet. You know, we just immediately clicked, like that whole family. All of the actors who played the family, we had a real family dynamic. It happened so quickly. Like the chemistry was insane. I had so much fun on that one. And running through the woods in Louisiana, being in the middle of the woods, shooting that reunion scene and everything. Oh, spoilers.
It's an old enough movie, I guess. Whatever, but yeah.
Yeah, it's been out for a while. It's okay.
It is on Tubi also, so if anyone wants to watch it. So.
Oh, everything's on Tubi these days.
Yeah, pretty much.
Pretty much everything is on Tubi.
Tubi is great.
I was. It's funny. The topic of we talked about accents and whatnot, but the topic of what your voice sounds like when you do a movie, if they do like a different language audio dubs, what your voice sounds like for the actor that they cast in a different language. And so recently I was just in Italy and I was talking about Family of Lies with someone. And he's like, so have you heard like what your Italian voice sounds like? I was like, I'm pretty sure that doesn't exist. He's like, hold on. And he like looked it up and he's like, yep, here you go. And he played it for me and I got to hear what my voice or my actress was sounded like in Italian. And that's, wow, that was really cool.
That's funny.
It's just something you don't think about because, I mean, I'm not going to watch a movie in Italian, but
did you think it was going to reach worldwide there? Did you have any expectations of that? Or?
I did not. I can't say that I did. That's why it was a surprise because, like I said, I was telling him, I was like, this is the probably the biggest role I've had, but I doubt that it would be in Italian. He said, oh, just give me 1 second. I found it. There you go. I was like, wow.
Like, okay, then. Well, thank you. I'm glad that's interesting to hear someone's voice.
Every day.
I do also wanted to bring up The Haunting of Fraternity Row too was a good one. So do you believe in ghosts or supernatural at all, or?
I don't know. I can't say that I have a strong opinion about it. You know, I have a very open mind. So I swear I was living in a haunted house, like this place is haunted, all these crazy things would happen. Like, I believe that. Sure. Yeah. I don't have I'm not an avid believer in all of that, but to film Haunting on Fraternity Row, that was a really crazy experience. That was the first movie I've ever done where it was all or mostly night shoots. Mm-hmm. So filming all night, things get a little crazy. Everybody's tired and you're staying up till you get there when the sun is still up and you leave when the sun is coming up again. That was a lot of fun. First ever night shoots movie, but it was not my last.
Steven said it's one of his favorites on Tubi there that he watched.
Really? All those people I filmed with, they're so cool. Mm-hmm. You would be happy to know that. It was such a blast.
So, and also since, well, people say it, you die in most of your horror movies anyway. Is there a particular way that you would like to see a death that you haven't died? Like a interesting way?
I'm not sure. Maybe, I was going to say drowning, but that actually sounds really terrifying to film. So I'm going to not leave that as my final answer. Maybe, like maybe getting my head cut off.
Decapitation might be fun.
Decapitation might be fun.
Who's that actor famous for dying in movies a lot? There's a particular actor. He's like Sean. He was in Lord of the Rings and one of the James Bond movies, and he always dies. There's a lot of people you hear about that. He was the main villain in the one Bond movie.
Was he also in Game of Thrones?
Sean, what was his last name?
Oh, are you talking about Sean Bean?
Yeah.
Oh.
They like the Sean Bean people.
I'm not sure who Sean Bean is off the top of my head. What role did he play?
He was the king, I thought, when that got decapitated. Can't think of.
In what?
And Game of Thrones.
Oh, so Ned Stark.
Yeah, Stark. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. I thought so. I was like, oh, I think that's who we're talking about. Yeah, he famously dies a lot, but he's really good at it.
So,
Yeah, but it's like you find a lot of people get the same treatment, in movie stuff. It's like they like to Sean Bean them.
yeah, that's what Stephen Chang and Sean Bean, Goldeneye, the evil agent. And then Drew with the View was wondering if we've seen Blade 1 and 2. Yeah, I've seen all the Blades. Wesley Snipes.
Yeah.
I'm embarrassed to say I have not.
You don't gotta be. I mean, unless if you call yourself a Wesley Snipes fan, then it's kind of like you gotta see them.
Yeah. So I think you already answered that, but I guess Drew wasn't in there. Some actors you would like to work with.
Oh yeah, I did say 2 directors, but
Oh, you did say directors, yeah.
My favorite actress is Jessica Chastain. I think she is just phenomenal. So to work with her would just blow my mind. But I get every once in a while somebody will tell me that I look like Kristen Bell.
I was thinking you do look like Kristen Bell, yeah.
I look a bit like Kristen Bell, so I think that would be cool to play her relative, a sister or a daughter or something with Kristen Bell.
She's awesome. She was at a convention. She's great. So if you get a chance to work with her, like again, there's so many people that I've met, and I do act. I've done some movies coming out, but I would love to act with some of these people that I've met because they're great in person. I couldn't imagine how cool it would be to work with.
As one, besides Jamie Lee Curtis, is there a scream queen you would like to work with? Another scream queen you would like to work with?
Oh, Steve said you look like Jennifer Garner a little bit too.
I'm not sure. Because I guess I've already worked with Jamie Lee Curtis, who would have been, my number one for sure.
Yeah.
But
probably the most iconic
you
of them.
Jamie Lee Curtis, yeah.
Or, I'm forgetting her name. I don't know if she's a scream queen, though. The actress from American Horror Story, Jessica Lange.
Oh, Jessica Lange, yeah.
I don't know if she's considered a scream queen, but oh my god, would that be incredible?
Wasn't her?
Yes.
Yeah. She's in almost like every season, yeah.
Almost every season of American Horror Story. My favorite season is Coven, and she was the Coven leader. Mm-hmm. She is just an incredible actress, so I think working with her would.
Well, Jessica Lange's first role was King Kong, the 1976 movie.
I did not know this.
You're learning so much today.
So she did some screaming in that, probably. So I'd say she counts as one.
I'd go with
the giant ape, I think, kind of have to deal with that. Is a giant monster, so qualifies as a scream queen.
Right.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's my vote. Yeah, Jessica Lange. Oh my god, I would love to learn from her. Just to be on set watching her, like doing a scene with her. Oh my goodness, but like just to watch her.
Oh yeah.
Her in her element.
Yeah.
Things you could pick up from her and stuff, studying her and talking to her, that would.
I always want to learn. I never want to stop learning. And I would say I'm pretty observant anytime that I get the opportunity to do a new movie or show. I'm grateful to be there, and obviously I have my own work to do, but I am so observant of what everybody else is doing because I love to learn and grow. That's how I do it best.
Yeah. You can always learn new stuff all the time. You never stop.
Yeah, well, they say you learn something new every day. Why not use it to grow?
Exactly. I never want to stop growing.
So since you were a fan of American Horror Story, obviously that's all Ryan Murphy. So before you worked on Scream Queens, any other Ryan Murphy shows like Nip Tuck or Glee or whatever, anything else?
I was a Glee head when that was airing.
Correct term is Glee. I mean, I didn't know that.
Yeah. Oh, I'm sorry. I was a Glee.
Yeah, it was a good show. Yes.
Okay. Actually, it's so funny because it was so long ago, but American Horror Story was technically the first thing I ever booked. But I didn't get to film it. It was season 3 of American Horror Story, and I auditioned for it. And it was a bigger role. It was a recurring role. And I didn't think in a million years that I was going to book it. And then I got the phone call that I did. But then they ended up doing a script rewrite. and the
Mm.
character that I had booked was no longer in the new script. So I watched Coven with a two, like, you know, I was like so mad. I was like, I'm gonna watch this. And why did they cut me out? But it made sense. In the end, the season was really good, and the rewrite that they did made sense. So I couldn't be mad about it anymore.
I've been wanting to watch that one where they did the summer camp one. I've been wanting to check that season
That
out.
was a good one. The 80.
Oh,
I kind of tend to like horror movies that take place at summer camp for some strange reason. I've never been to a summer camp, but I like the horror movies, so I think I'd like to check that out.
That was a good one. Yeah.
I think the last season of American Horror Story that I watched was the crossover one with
It was the aliens, and then
it was it was a Coven crossover with I think it was about the apocalypse.
it was like the end of the world, and you had the Coven also. They brought him back. Yeah.
But I didn't finish the season, and that was the last one.
I didn't watch the last season. It was something. What was it? I forget what it was called now, but it was like in New York or whatever. That was the last season.
The new one, like my mom was like, it's got one of the Kardashians in it.
Yeah.
Oh, the new one should be out. Where's the baby or the like it's a spider baby or something. I don't know what it was from the trailer. Did it start yet, or I think they just had the first couple episodes, because I know it's like this month or like supposed to be starting up the new season.
Not a fan of the Kardashians, so I'm like,
I can't say I'm very neutral about them.
Kim apparently decided to post some nude pictures. She's like, I'll post them before anyone else does. So I got curious, and I go, click. God, she looks even faker naked than she does dressed. I don't think they must have photoshopped them or something, because that skin looked really like a Barbie doll skin.
They are very beautiful, and I have to applaud them. They are some of the best business women. They have so many things going on. They make so much money. They're some of the most famous people in the world. I understand why people don't like them, because there's no way to make everybody like you, but I got respect for them, but I'm just very neutral.
Yeah.
And I can't say that I know too much about their lives, but I think I hope this season is really good. I did see the trailer for this season, and it looks like she's doing a good job.
Yeah.
Can't say that they don't have any talent anymore.
So, yeah. Drew, I know, who do you think is a better actor, Hugh Jackman or Robert Downey?
So I've met Hugh Jackman, and I'm just gonna have to say him, because he was so fun. He's so tall, and he was so understanding. I booked Logan. I think it's called Logan.
Yeah.
And that was a crazy experience. Not a good one. I ended up booking a role, showing up to set to film said role, and then they were like, "Oh, actually, we have cut that. We've cut your role."
You keep getting cut, unfortunately. God.
I was so confused, and it was such an unorganized production that nobody thought to tell me to cancel. So it was me and two other girls that had all booked the same scene, and they cut all of the girls. Damn. So it sucked. It did suck. We showed up to set, and they were really just trying to find somewhere to put us, and ended up meeting Hugh Jackman and telling him about it. And he was just so understanding and so kind. So I think he's great. So I'm going to vote for him, because I have not seen very many, if any.
I think there was a fuss about him playing that character, because if you go in the comics, Logan Wolverine is not tall.
Oh.
He's a bit of a short guy, and they're like, ooh. Yeah.
I think he did well.
Yeah. I mean, come on, Ryan Reynolds was getting him to come back.
Yeah.
And he's going to wear the Wolverine in yellow, the actual
Did you see that little teaser that Ryan Reynolds did that had everyone talking? Where he's like, Ryan Reynolds like, we've been trying to write this script for the new Deadpool movie. We've been running out of ideas. And then Hugh Jackman walks behind him. Hey, Hugh, want to play Logan? Yeah, sure, Ryan.
He said, want to play Wolverine or whatever.
He's like, yeah, sure. And
He's
the
like,
next
yeah,
thing
sure.
you know, it exploded all over the internet. Like, oh my god,
He's coming back. See, I knew, I had a feeling like even though he was never played, yeah, it's like I know it's at least another one. At least
But the
they'll
best
always
part
come back.
though is just random. Like he just randomly walks behind him. He's like eating something. Like, want to play me? Yeah, sure.
Want to play Wolverine again?
Sorry.
Yeah, he's like, want to play Wolverine again? He's like, yeah, sure. I'm sure you can find it on YouTube. Just put like Deadpool.
It's on. I think it's on his YouTube channel. Ryan Reynolds has a YouTube channel.
Oh, okay, then yeah.
Okay.
But it's completely like just nonchalant, just like randomly, like just, you know, casually walks behind him. Like,
And I think that might be the best way that they could have possibly announced it.
Yeah.
Just make everybody freak out. You know,
yeah, everyone did.
I understand when actors play a huge character like that for so long that, you know, I would imagine it gets a little bit boring or like kind of doing the same thing over and over again. So you might want to try
yeah, but he did it for a long time.
to do something else. But then when you get enough time away, I'm done, I'm finished, I don't want to make these anymore. But then you have enough time away. And you're like, okay. I think
one of the hardest parts about playing a superhero, I find, when you watch it, whenever they cast somebody,
Mhm.
then the attacks happen. We don't like this person. We don't want to see them. Okay, he did a good job. Has Wolverine.
Mhm.
Robert Downey Jr. has Tony Stark. I love him as Tony Stark. Ben Affleck, he's my Batman.
Yeah.
Even though I also liked Michael Keaton.
Uh-huh.
But like you can see, like they cast somebody, and the fans are just right there. Like,
I'm a George Clooney Batman. No, just kidding. No.
but they start attacking them. Like, oh, this person isn't right for this role. You know, they don't look like it. It's like no one's going to be a 6'4", lean, physically fit, handsome guy with blue eyes and, you know, the whole chiseled looks. You're not going to find someone like that. You know, well, you can come close, but you're not going to find that.
Right. I think it's hard to please everyone, and you're never going to please anyone with whatever casting you do. When you're making something based off of a comic book or a book story, something pre-written that people have an attachment to, and they have decided in their own brain what the character looks and sounds like, you're never going to cast a single human that makes everybody satisfied.
Mm-hmm.
And you have to just accept that. I do think about that as an actress myself, of being cast one day maybe in a role that people have a lot of attachment to, because I love to read. That's my favorite hobby. I read a lot of like fantasy and epic stories and things like that. And ultimately, if I had to choose one thing to do in my career, that I would want to do something like that, a big fantasy TV show like on HBO or something.
Yeah, what is then that one character from a book that you've read that you would love to play if you had the opportunity?
There is this book. It's called A Court of Thorns and Roses, and the main character's name is Feyre Ogeron. And as I was reading it, just connected with her so much. And the story itself is so epic. You know, it rivals, or could not rival, but could be up there along the lines of like Game of Thrones, all of those huge, Lord of the Rings. It could be that big if done correctly.
Mm-hmm.
And I think to play her would just be the epitome of all my dreams, for sure. Just a big fantasy TV show like that, done well, with lots of like action. There's also romance, and just all of these magical elements to it. God, that would just be life-changing, something like that. But going back to what we were just talking about, I know that you're never gonna make, like, this book series is huge, right? And so many people are attached to this character that you're never gonna make everyone happy when you get cast. So that would be amazing. But yeah, you just have to keep in mind that like not everybody's going to be happy with what you do sometimes.
Sure.
Do you you've done some acting yourself, Stephen? Do you have a dream kind of project or role that you would think you'd want to do?
Well, besides horror, I also like comedy, and unfortunately, I guess he's not doing anything. But who knows? But I would have loved to have worked with Jim Carrey. That'd be fun and something.
They never.
Huh?
You know, he could come back
He
eventually.
could come back. Yeah. Maybe another Sonic. Even if I just had a cameo, or even just meeting him would be cool.
Yeah, I mean, he's not going to be. They're not even recasting the character of
So, who knows?
Dr. Robotnik. I hear.
Yeah, I was gonna say if they do another Sonic, I guess. You know.
Well, I think they have plans to do more with the franchise, but no, I think they're saying no more.
Well, you know, if well, then again, he has said some weird stuff. How he's
well,
like,
didn't he say if the script was good enough?
If the script was good enough, yeah.
Because you can, throw all the money out you want, but you can hand them a script and they go, "What the hell is this?"
He did say that, yeah. And he said some weird stuff about how, like I don't even remember what he said. It was just weird how he's just like, "Are we here?" Like he just has been saying some weird stuff. Like I don't even.
I mean, Bryan Cranston's going to be retiring.
Yeah. Horror wise, of course, Bill Moseley, Danielle Harris, Kane. Like I've met all these people at conventions, but it's like I really want to work with them though. That'd be awesome to actually see how they are, on set and how they are work ethics and learn from them, and so work with you maybe. I don't know.
That would be fun.
Let's work on something. Think of a script. Who knows? Yeah. We always come up with ideas for movies on show. Like if you go back to past shows, we always talk about movie ideas and stuff.
I think that's the movie idea is a fan book. In wrestling, it's called fan booking when you book the storyline. So it'd be like fan writing, fan casting. You're coming up with these different this would be a great movie, and you go, okay, this movie would be about, say, an idea would be something like a vampire ice cream man. Just a random thing, and then you go, okay, who would play the ice cream man? He sucks
more than popsicles.
Yeah, like who would play the ice cream man?
Uh-huh.
Oh, you basically you cast have you done that before? Like you just sit there and you start casting. You like in your head, like, okay, who would play this character? And
what's really weird is when the X-Men movie came out, and when they said they were doing an X-Men movie, in my mind, I was like, Patrick Stewart needs to be Charles Xavier. He looks exactly, and they ended up casting him, and I'm like, I'm good.
There you go. You can take
John Luke.
Yeah. Like he just has that feature. Like it's like, yeah, he's Charles Xavier.
Well, because of when he played Picard for all those years, and I've had people that debate who's the best Star Trek captain. Jean-Luc Picard, Patrick Stewart, all the way.
Mm-hmm. Sure.
And if you see Life Force, which is a horror movie he made back in the 80s, you can see Patrick Stewart kiss another guy. Because he's possessed by this space vampire. And to get out, someone's got to kiss him to get the vampire out of something.
Oh, okay.
Like awkward, but okay. That's kind of a question. If you don't mind me asking, the Haunting on Fraternity Row, you did have a makeout scene with another female. Is that awkward, or did they make it comfortable for you, or how do you, as an actor, deal with that?
I wasn't uncomfortable at all. I was aware, like when I auditioned for the role, that was going to happen. And I mean, I'm a professional, Ashton, her name is Ashton Lay. I had actually worked with her before, and she and I are friends. So really, we talked about it beforehand. It was a closed set that day. Everybody was very professional. They took care of us to make sure everybody was comfortable. And we had, intimacy talks beforehand and blocked everything out, so that we knew what was going to happen. And it didn't bother me one bit. It's part of the job.
As long as it's professional acting, it's
part of the job happens. Like there is not too much that I would say would make me uncomfortable. I mean, I have my boundaries, of course, but it didn't bother me. It's acting, It's not like we're actually together or anything.
Right, yeah.
Yeah, she's a sweetheart. And
I've always wondered about those kind of scenes, like how uncomfortable whenever you're doing like a romantic scene, a love scene, when you got everybody like all these eyes on you, like how does that get a little bit uncomfortable when everyone's just watching you, do that stuff?
But then again, most of them are closed sets, though, just for the actors and cameramen. I'm assuming because they don't want. It's not like a show for everybody to watch, really. But
Right. Like I said, they were very respectful, and it was a closed set. We still had, a bunch of people there, but
Right.
they made sure that nobody who really didn't need to be there
Mhm.
was. And it is awkward, I will admit, being intimate that way on camera because, yeah, you have to do these things, and not only is there a camera on you, but they have all these eyes, and it's definitely awkward. And it's not my favorite, but these stories want to be people want these scenes to happen, and it's part of the story.
Yeah.
So
Let's see what Drew was saying.
the only thing that was really crazy about it was the amount of takes we had to do and how crazy it was. Like all of the kissing. I remember I was getting like chin rash from I think his name was Jason, from his stubble. And so I would towards the end when they're like, okay, we're gonna go again, I would have to go out and they were dabbing makeup on my face to like try to cover up the chin rash.
Mm-hmm.
That's how glamorous it is.
Oh, no skin rash. Cover it up.
Let me just cover that up real quick.
So, but yeah, besides that, it was a good movie. I think I enjoyed it. So, and the deaths of it were weird with like the eyes and Steven knows how that. Yeah.
That was, I didn't actually wear. I got really lucky. I didn't have to wear the dead eye popped out makeup stuff because the way it was cut, it was a stunt double who did my death, the levitating and then the falling and then the eye stuff. But when the first death they did, I think, was Chester's, who played the younger brother of Jason Blair. It was their first time attempting to do the eyes popped makeup, and they did it on him, and he was completely blind for a few hours. He sat down and he was like, it's okay, like I'm prepared, whatever. And they put the makeup on him and he had to be guided around. He could not see. He's just like had his eyes closed and had this makeup. And then because he was almost like a guinea pig in a way, and because he had that happen, and he talked about how it was difficult for him, they had to figure out a way to do the makeup on the rest of the actors to where they could still open their eyes and see
and work around
it,
but look like it's still blacked out, of course.
Yeah. And that makeup took hours, so I felt really like I lucked out because I didn't have to have it on myself and sit in that chair forever and then have it put on, and then also it took a while to get taken off as well.
I could imagine a few hours not being able to see. I couldn't, and Camp Blood 9.
That'd be really uncomfortable, not being able to see. It's just,
I mean, I had fake blood that went down my eyes, and they had to guide me back to the house, which was fine. Take a shower, but I can imagine 3 hours of not seeing. That would be horrible.
Yeah, the hours of getting the makeup put on. Oh, are you okay?
Yeah, there was like I don't know where it came from. That was weird. But
so yeah, just like the hours that it took to get the makeup put on, you lose your vision. The time that it takes to film the actual scene, and then the time that it takes to get it off. Like, yeah, I'm surprised he didn't have a panic attack. I might have. I don't know how it would respond.
I could see why, because it'd be very uncomfortable, and you'd just be like, "Oh, can we get done? So I get this off. Let's just get this off. I want to get this off."
Yeah.
Or getting the face molds, like where you have to breathe through a straw or something. Ooh, that'd be claustrophobic doing that. I don't know.
Think about those people. They play those monsters or aliens, and they got to sit there for hours. They got to get like
8 hours.
You got about 3 or 4 hours before dawn. It's taking about 6-7 hours, and you just got to sit there. I think some just fall asleep. This is like
Jamie Campbell Bower for season 4 of Stranger Things. The Vecna makeup would take so many hours every time you had to put it on, and then you film for all of that time, however many hours it takes to get the shot, and then the process of taking it off. Oh my God, days must be so long.
Could you be willing something like that for heavy prosthetic type thing like that? Even though you're gonna have to spend about 12 weeks just to get the makeup prepped.
I think it would be a really fun challenge as an actor. It's definitely a test of patience, for sure. But I would be willing to give it a shot for sure. I can't say it would be so fun. Like I would be like, yes, I would
I
love to.
love it. Let's
Jacob
do it again.
Let's do it
What was
again.
it? Look at Becca Romaine. I don't know why I still call her Rebecca Romaine Stamos. She's no longer married to him. And what's her name? When they did Mystique,
Yeah.
they had to do the full body.
Yeah, Jennifer. I forget her last name. Jennifer from Hunger Games too.
Jennifer
Lawrence.
Lawrence.
There we go. Yeah.
I think someone said it like it turned the pores or something blue or something. Having that on.
Yeah, I think she said they had to change it too because I don't know if it bothered her skin or if she was alert or like they had to change it a little bit too. But yeah, that's
Or like Jim Carrey bringing him back up in The Grinch when he did The Grinch, like the hours and hours to make that.
Yeah.
Because it's just like that's just like a full body suit and stuff, but you gotta do the face. Or if you do like again something like Mystique, it's like the full body.
Yeah.
Not a suit. It's like and you gotta stand there. And if it's cold that day, and you're just wearing practically nothing, you're just like let's get the scene done.
Yeah.
I have just nothing but respect for actors that do that, honestly.
I mean, I'm curious to see what it would be like, but yeah, I mean, I'd do it, but it'd be quite a process.
Right. That's what I'm saying. I'd be willing to do it as well. I'd be curious about it for sure, but I can't say I would like just get out of bed so excited every morning to sit in a makeup chair for that long.
Yeah.
No.
That would.
But it's part of the craft. It
Yeah.
all depends on what you book,
Yeah.
I'd be willing. I think about that often for like theater actors who do like Wicked, like whoever plays
Alphaba,
Green every single night or something like that. Like that is just so much. You have to be really patient to be doing that often, for sure.
Yes. Every night, 7 days.
Look at those guys, the blues band or whatever they are.
The Blue Man Group.
They're about to have to do that multiple nights. Just
forever. It's like
that one would be the easiest though, because they're just blue. It's not like they like highlighting or any extra thing. They just paint themselves blue real quick.
Yeah. What would be your least favorite location to film? The desert?
I mean, I guess something just really maybe cold. I do better with hot than I do cold. So maybe just something in the freezing cold, snow, or just something like that. I think I would have a lot of difficulty.
So not for the winter is coming in Game of Thrones. Winter is coming.
Well, I mean, come on. They make. I feel those actors when they got like it's fake snow.
Yeah.
It's cold, and then they go, okay, here's this coat. It's this thick winter coat, and you got to act cold. And they got to hide that you're sweating up a storm.
Yeah. I hate being cold, and I'm cold pretty often. I have a pretty high heat tolerance. So I was like, the desert, it would be uncomfortable, but
two of the Trimmer movies were shot back to back somewhere that was hot. Where was it? The one where they go like the Antarctic, and the one they go to Africa, and they're shot in a hot place. So they had to fake it being cold.
They had to pretend.
So again, it's a really hot place, and you got to dress up and bundle up, and probably like, okay, between shots, you're just like, get that off. Oh God. Oh.
So I guess earlier talking about spiders, probably missed that, but I guess bug movies. I guess the question is
CGI bugs. Let's tell them CGI bugs.
I think I would have to hard pass on that. Yeah, CGI the bugs, or I would just not do it. It's not for me. I don't like bugs, insects.
I just want to know how those people can, let them those real bugs crawl all over them. Like that movie,
Tony Todd used. There was real bees in Candyman when he did that.
That's
scene.
the one I would stay away from because allergic.
Yeah.
So.
I have nothing but respect. Nothing but respect for people who can do that. But I have to set that boundary for myself and say no.
I don't think I could have real bees. Tony Todd for doing that is.
If I wanted up in the hospital, I'd do it. But no. I like hospital food. Probably the only person who does, but not that much.
Not to just go there.
By the way, hospitals make the best sloppy joes ever.
Oh, okay.
I did not know that, but sure.
I didn't know that either. But
I randomly found out one time visiting somebody. Can I have your food? Sloppy joes? Sure. Oh, hey, that's hella good.
It's like you come in here a lot. Yeah, I know. I keep breaking this.
Just like
I'm
your
so
food.
clumsy.
I came here for the food. Sloppy Joe.
That's good sloppy joes they make.
I believe you. I just don't know that for myself, but I believe you.
I've yet to experience that. So
Yeah.
if I'm unfortunate enough to be in the hospital, they're like, is Sloppy Joe tonight? So,
You take requests.
it's like, yes. And I don't want green Jello though. No, I'll pass on that. Give me the pudding.
Who wants green Jello?
I know it's like not even red. Like, come on, at least
Well,
orange
if it's
or
the
red.
right flavor.
Or blue. I always like the
Yes, blue. Anything blue is good. Whatever. I like the blue flavors.
Well, if it's green apple, it'd be good.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Is it green apple? I can't tell you the last time I've
I
had
thought it was lime. Was green Jello was just lime? I mean, if it's green apple, that's fine. But lime,
might be lime. I don't
Just
know.
love
I've been a jealous
just-
tough
But
kid.
then again, I'm just an apple lover, so
There you go. That's a good flavor to like.
it's a good Jolly Rancher sour apple, and the blue one, of course. Got to have the blue. Blue's the best.
Gatorade makes a green apple that's just the bomb.
Do they?
Yeah, it's hard. It can be hard to find though. It's one of those things you gotta hunt down.
Okay. And they sometimes only sell flavors like in certain regions.
Yeah,
I live in Austin, Texas, and they make like a mango flavor Gatorade or something that you can only get around there, I think. Flavor.
But the trick is,
I might have
you
to check
find
in
somebody
January.
that works at the local plant.
Oh.
I used to know somebody who used to work at the local Pepsi plant, so I'd be like, "Hey, can I get something right from the plant before it gets to the store?"
It's really smart.
So, well, I heard I have a friend in Canada, and like when her parents ever come to the U.S., they don't have cinnamon. I think is it cinnamon Pop Tart or whatever. They didn't have it there, so they'd be like when they were here, buy some to bring back because they don't sell them there.
Mm-hmm.
So it's weird how they have
Cinnamon's the bomb, man. Cinnabon. God damn it! I was at the mall and I didn't pick no Cinnabon up today,
Ooh,
and I always do that. I forgot to every time I go to the mall.
that's right. When I worked at Flying J, they started a Cinnabon there, and I'm like, "Yep, everybody, I have a Cinnabon. Yep." That was nice. I'm like, "Yeah, I'll take that." Thank you
The
very
only
much.
way if I get Cinnabons, the only way it will ever the Cinnabons will make it home is someone has to hold them, and keep them away from me. Otherwise, I'll not make it at home.
Oh, you
You've
know,
been going, I want one, and looking down.
I get it. Those are too delicious.
It's like I want food now. Why do we have to talk about food?
We have been chatting for a little while, so it makes sense.
I'm one somebody who's famous for. I used to do that, talk about food just to mess with people. So like when they would get hungry and they'd get mad, and I'm just in there laughing like, it worked.
And I've got the
I
food.
mean, maybe we should invite a chef on or something sometime. There we go. Let's just talk about food.
Do one of those mukbang
I would
people,
want-
which is, by the way, mukbang's disgusting.
Okay.
It's like, okay, you get a person who's gonna get like enough food to feed 20 people, and they're gonna sit on stream, a live stream, and you're gonna watch them eat the food, and it's enough to feed 20 people. It's like,
There is an audience
For
For-
everything.
for
and,
everything.
and there's a reason why some of these people end up getting quite big later on, and I don't mean big and famous. I mean like
Literally big. Oh my god, that guy runs like a big person. There's again when I was at Flying J, there was this trucker that came in. No lie, I thought there had to be a weight limit for some. Had to be at least 400 pounds. Like he was huge. He comes up, and this is what he orders. Like everything, he orders 3 double cheeseburgers, a pound of wings, 4 egg rolls, the 2 slices of pizza, like everything. Like it was crazy. And I'm just like, I can see it. All right.
Maybe he just likes to try everything.
I mean, I'm thinking, it's gonna eat all that? Like, damn. I mean, it was
Maybe he was ordering for a few days. I could never. 1 cheeseburger is enough.
and these were double cheeseburgers that he ordered because they had the regular cheeseburgers and double, like 4 egg rolls. I mean, it was crazy. And I'm just like, I'm looking at like I was trying not to be like, I'm like, dude, like, okay, what, hey.
Nah, I don't judge. Maybe I don't know. Maybe
Like,
he was ordering take to go and taking it home.
There was a running joke with me and one of these other YouTubers because I always when he do watch alongs and he's showing the credits, I'm going, who does the food? So the running joke is then he'd be watching and he'd go, hey Echo, guess who did the food?
That's too fun.
I mean, you got to eat when you're on set. Your figures. If you're on long hours, you want something to eat.
Oh,
they had good food when I was on. I was just an extra and never back down, but they had a bunch of food there for us, a whole buffet of stuff. I'm like, this is awesome. They had so much good food there. I'm like,
yeah, I love the craft services because, like, well, catering for one, yeah, when you're eating like your actual meal for lunch, oh, so good. But then the fact that there's a craft services that you could always get a snack if you're running low on energy, it's like this is dangerous. And it's the best snacks too. Like, they have so many good options, things that you would never think. It's like, I need to stay away from this. I'm just gonna be eating all day.
pretty much in between scenes, just like, okay, scarf
Oh,
that down.
My energy up.
Hey, you were fitting in that costume yesterday. How come you're not fitting today?
What I do have to say about Interview with the Vampire was, I remember when we had lunch, it was really good. Like, I couldn't tell you what we had, but it was good. But I do remember craft services had a big thing of mac and cheese.
Ooh.
And I liked the mac and cheese more than I liked the actual food. It was so good.
Mac and cheese is good.
Going back, they just had like trays and trays of the mac and cheese, and it was warm. I don't remember what we had for dinner, but I remember what we had in that mac and cheese.
Well, they could have given you some period piece mac and cheese.
No, I was okay with them doing modern day food.
Yeah.
It was too fun. It was really cold that day that we did it, I remember. So to have like the warm, like they were keeping it like over like a warmer or something, so to have like the warm food to eat to warm you up a little bit and like warm drinks, it was really rewarding instead of shivering.
Yeah.
What's something that I always ask this, something we may not know about you, whether other interests or talents, hobbies, whatever, that you would like to share about yourself? That
Well, I've kind of already shared that I'm a big reader.
Reader.
I love video games, but I haven't played like the Assassin's Creed. I play a lot of old video games. I grew up playing like on the PlayStation 1 or even PlayStation 2.
Good systems.
Those good systems. So those old games are my favorite thing. So I feel bad because I don't want to call myself a gamer girl because I have not kept up with all of the current big games.
I think you would. What was like those old systems that fits in the whole retro gaming community, which is by the way, I love it.
Maybe
it's great, especially you to rediscover the old ones. It's awesome.
Right. So I play like the old Spyro games. Like
I like chasing the sheep and blowing fire at them. That was the best part.
Spyro games. I played one called like Pitfall. The very first very bad Harry Potter game. The really bad graphics. Stuff like that. Or Kingdom Hearts, like just the older games. That is a huge hobby of mine. I'm a bit of I guess I'll call myself a gamer girl because I love doing that. Did y'all play Hogwarts Legacy when it came out?
Yeah. I stayed away from it when I heard all about all the drama. Because that
whole J.K. Rowling thing. Yeah.
Oh.
It was just like people were being attacked left and right. There was a VTuber by the name of Silvervel who got viciously attacked. And she made a video, and again, you couldn't really see it because it's an animated thing, but you can hear her breaking down.
Yeah.
Just all kinds of nasty things were being said about that. I mean, I'm not really a fan of Harry Potter. I've seen this stuff, but not enough to want to play the game. But that kind of thing was just like, I don't want to go near that, especially if somebody who hates it finds out. I don't want to be attacked.
Right.
If I played it, I'd have to be like, be all secretive. Especially if I liked the game, I wouldn't be able to say anything.
Well, if you are a Harry Potter fan, the game is amazing. It's so beautiful and so well done, and I enjoyed that very much. That's like the only modern or like current game that I've played in a while, though.
And we just lost one of the cast members.
Yes, Dumbledore.
That was the second one, I believe, because
Yeah,
Second Dumbledore, but yeah.
and so
I know
I was
how
like,
we're
wow.
gonna learn that.
Mhm.
It's so sad.
They go, they said that they go, Dumbledore was dead. I'm like, did he already die?
Yeah.
Did he die? He died.
But I
He
forgot
used
that.
what was it?
Yeah. I forgot that the
Violet
original had
Resurrection.
died and then he was recast. I had forgotten that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yes. And then not too long after we lost Hagrid too.
Yeah. So many people have been dying lately. Oh my gosh. I mean, I
Although
know it's
the
part of
one
life.
cast member we lost from Harry Potter that I was a fan of was guy who played Alan Rickman.
Oh, yes. Alan Rickman. Yeah.
And I was just like, oh, come on. The Die Hard guy, the best Die Hard villain ever.
I know.
Mhm.
I know. The
Yeah.
Morley Gray character. Oh, he did such a good job.
And Robin Hood.
Yeah.
He's gonna kill him with a spoon. Like, why a spoon? Be more painful.
Yeah. Let's see. Steven plays a third-person shooter. I guess. Wait. Oh, looter. Oh, looter shooter. Say that 10 times. Looter shooter. Looting shooter sci-fi game with some horror elements like a gore mode called Warframe.
Oh.
Because I don't like horror games because they don't scare me. They kind of bore me. I love watching people play them though.
So,
She's on her attention thing again.
Like, give me attention.
she's like, you've been on here for quite a while now. What you doing?
Would you ever voice or do the motion capture for a game?
Oh, I would love to do that. I'd love it. Oh my goodness. I was actually thinking about that or how to get into that recently. I had a thought. I was like, how does one do that? How do you get into being like motion?
Well, in Red Dead 2, I was watching the behind the scenes of the motion capture. They even motion capture actual horses.
Really?
They put all the little had to put all these sensors on the horse, and they tell the guy, "Okay, you got to ride the horse," and they're motion capturing that.
The dedication that they have nowadays to just. Thank you.
And they'll actually like because it's the voice cast who's doing the motion capture of the characters, so they'll not just motion capture, they're playing out all the scenes, all the lines in the games. They're saying, which is like, wow.
I started thinking about getting into that when I was watching The Last of Us. Did you guys watch The Last of Us?
Yeah,
I haven't seen it yet. I need to check it out to see how
I need to finish it. Another one I need to finish that I started, but yeah.
It's
I'm
so
liking
good.
it, but yeah.
And I did play a little bit of the video game. And so I mean it was really scary. I didn't finish it. And it's hard. I'm not a great video gamer, but I do enjoy stuff.
That's the key. You don't got to be good. You just got to enjoy yourself.
Yeah, I just enjoy myself, but when it gets too hard, I have to put it down. So I
just watched that Twisted Metal.
Yes,
I gotta watch that.
here.
Yeah.
Twisted Metal was filmed here, actually.
Ooh, it was?
Yeah.
Joe and Sweet Tooth, physically played by Joe. This is Joe Sarani or whatever. It's the wrestler Samoa Joe, physically plays him, and Will Arnett voices him. And it's great because you got a wrestler who knows about the physical movements, and he's doing all these little physical things he's doing, and then you got Will Arnett providing the voice, it looks so good together.
It's so sweet. Yeah.
That scene where he puts the grenade in the guy's mouth, he's like, "You be careful" or something.
I have not seen Twisted Metal. I do want to watch it just because I hope that they have a season 2, and I would hope that they come back to film it.
Well, don't want to give spoilers away, but yeah, they do tease a season 2.
I guess the goal when you do any TV show is hopefully to have a second season. But with this, the writer's strike is finally over, but the actor strike's still going on. I don't know if they will be getting one and if they will come back, but I do want to watch it in preparation for when if they come back for season 2, so that I have the feeling of the show.
Well, they are hinting that some of the characters from the game are going to be there.
Oh,
from the franchise.
That's a good way to bring the audience.
So if they're shooting it down there, they need someone to play a Dollface.
Uh-huh.
because she's teased at the end.
Ah,
So she's got a whole gang of people dressed up like her.
Maybe we're manifesting here. I would love that.
yes, we're manifesting.
That would be so fun.
I mean, they're all a lot of. I mean, they was it Bloody Mary? I think is her name. They need to bring her in. She's the one that never got married, so she killed her best friend and stole her wedding dress. They got locked up because she's like psycho.
You're all like, yes, I hope this happens.
I love interesting characters like that. They're just so much more fun.
She would be a good one, just some woman walking around because it's post-apocalyptic because something's happened.
Right.
So you'd have some woman in a post-apocalyptic world walking around in a bloody wedding dress, like, "Where's my husband? I want a husband." Like, "Oh, I'm gonna kill you because I'm mad."
It's roles like that just they're so much more interesting to play. You have a lot to work with. I've always thought maybe playing the villain is even more fun than playing like the hero or the.
Well, they get the best lines.
You do. It's just so much more fun. You get so much more enjoyment out of like creating that fun character and bringing.
Take in mind, some of these villains end up with movies. Venom was a villain.
He was a villain,
If I remember right, Deadpool was a villain.
I guess. I'm not too
And
Deadpool.
kind of what's up? Venom, started off as a villain. Now he's got his own, movies.
Yeah. That fan base is amazing. Like they deserve it though, because Venom is such a good character. I would say he's definitely morally gray. For sure. Instead of just like straight villain, which is maybe why they can get away with making him the lead of a whole series.
I mean, we've seen Carnage, so hey, maybe we can see some more of the other symbiotes.
I'm only familiar with all of these characters because I played the original, or I don't know if it's the original, but one of the older, I think it was a PlayStation 1 video game for Spider-Man, maybe the first Spider-Man that they made.
Mm-hmm.
Very, very, very old game.
That was a fun one, yeah.
Yeah.
What it was, of course.
Venom
now
and
it's well
Carnage, all the symbiotes, Doc Ock, and
Yeah.
Mysterio, and
Shocker was in it, I think.
was Shocker?
Or was Shocker in? Maybe not the first one. I don't know.
Maybe not the first one. I don't remember Shocker, but yeah, I remember Mysterio and all those other characters I just mentioned. So I'm like, oh yeah, Venom, Carnage. Let's see some
Maximum Carnage. That was on Sega Genesis. I remember.
That was based on the comic book storyline, the same name.
Mm-hmm.
Because that was a big storyline at the time.
Okay.
It had like Captain America and all these other characters, and it, has to trying to help Spider-Man and Venom as they fight Carnage and his crew.
Yeah.
Which, damn it, we didn't get no Captain America in that last Venom movie. He could have showed up for one scene. I'm here to help you. Then bye.
Did you see? I think that they might be doing a merge between finally maybe what's his name? Spider-Man, the current Spider-Man. Help me out. Y'all know who I'm talking about. Tom Holland.
Oh, Tom. Okay.
Tom Holland, that they might do the merge between Tom Holland and Venom because they had like a little.
Yeah, the bonus. Yeah, but he had that bonus scene where
it crossed over and he saw him on TV or whatever.
Yeah, but like in that last his Venom's cameo in that last Spider-Man movie is he gets sucked back into his world, and then it shows the bar, and you see there's a piece of Venom behind.
Yeah.
So Venom's in that world, and Venom might have already known about it because he did say something in that. In the second Venom movie, like, "Oh, I know about all this stuff. Oh, we've been around for a long time. We know this all."
Yeah.
And then you have that one little scene. They kind of tell you that Venom's there. There's a piece of him.
Mm-hmm.
So we could see Venom show up there in some way.
Let's cross our fingers because he's such an interesting character that I would love to see what they would do with that.
Mm-hmm.
As long as we get a dancing scene again. We did that one.
Was that your favorite part?
Cracking up. It's like, oh God. But there is that interesting character. Any outfit you want. You don't got to spend money. Oh, I like that outfit. Boom.
There you go.
But also, like, to play that kind of role, it's like somebody playing someone who's kind of like schizo or something.
Yeah.
Because how only Eddie can
He
hear
hears the
that
voice, so it's almost like you're schizo talking to yourself.
So like people would be like, you'd be like, stop it, I'm not gonna do that, and people are like, what's wrong with you?
Or they might just think he's schizophrenic and be like, oh.
Yeah. So they'll play that role like it's like you have that voice that only you can hear, and everyone's like, call the people with the white coat.
So.
It is. Is it almost 10 p.m.?
Yeah. We've been going for 2 hours and 40. Yeah, I got to get up at 5 in the morning too. So it's like I got to crash soon too.
Been a good time though.
Oh my goodness! I did not realize we were going on for so long. I can't.
Well, like I said, it doesn't seem like that long. It just we're just talking.
Well, this is when you're having a good time and just chatting. The saying is, time flies.
I guess it does. Well, call it then.
Anything else you want to share? Anything coming up or no? Because of this, or just
nothing at the moment. It's been a long.
Are you part of SAG or no? Or yet?
I am SAG eligible, but
eligible.
Yet Louisiana is a right to work state, so it's not a requirement to join SAG. But I will be moving to California.
Yeah, well, I got a question for you, and I've asked this before. If there's anybody that wanted to, get into acting, wanted to pursue it, what would be your advice to them?
My advice, because I can only speak from my own experience, is that I would try to find acting classes. And it's easier nowadays because there's so much post-COVID. There are a lot of online acting courses that you can take. And that would be, where to train your instrument, really learn about the entertainment industry, because I would imagine that the person you're taking classes from is knowledgeable about that. They can answer all your questions, maybe help you find representation. I would say that might be one of the first steps, is Google or seek out representation in the area that you would want to start working in, and then pursue that. And do acting classes, because you should always be tuning your instrument. And then that would be how you would start getting auditions, is through your agent. That's how I did it. Started with the acting classes, got the agent, she started getting the auditions, and then I started auditioning and eventually booking.
All right. Well, I guess that's it then. It's 2 hours and 47 minutes. Good time.
It was good time talking with you. I was awesome talking with you. You're an awesome person.
Thank you so much. I enjoyed this so much. You guys were, like I said, time flew by. I was like, is it almost 10 p.m.?
Yeah. And take I'm a guy.
You're an hour behind. So for me, it's almost 11, and I got to get up at 5.
Yeah, and I'm a guy who somehow managed to hurt his back last night, and I've been in pain all day. And this has been the most fun I've had all day, and the pain actually seems to be subsiding. So it helped.
Well, I'm so happy to hear that. I enjoyed this.
He had some pet therapy.
I have Stella right here. If you can see her little tail, she's like, "Give me Robbins, please, Mom."
So Steven said it was also an honor interacting with you as well. So.
Thank you so much, Steven. Thank you for being so interactive yourself and asking questions and being involved and looking things up for us.
Yep. So and you're always welcome back, even if it's just a chill stream and just want to talk, whatever. It doesn't matter. It doesn't have to be career-wise. I mean, you're just fun to talk to in general anyway. So,
Appreciate you saying that. Thank you so much for inviting me on. This was so much fun.
All right. Glad you enjoyed it. And thanks again. And everyone who watching the replay, whatever. So, and we'll see you same time next week. All right. Have a good night.
You as well.
Bye-bye.
Bye. All right.